Hey, good morning. Good morning, Bex.
Everybody.
Lovely to be with you this Sunday morning. We've got a great lineup, actually, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. We've got all the amazing deals. We've still got bulb offers for you, which is great.
But exotic bulbs.
Exotic bulbs, and I've still got some bulbs to plant, so don't worry, there's still a bit of time in December to get those done.
But we've actually got a really good free gift as well.
Yeah.
Loads of you doing shopping at the moment. You might be doing Christmas shopping. We probably are. But you might think, oh, is that a shopping bag, Shaun? Bex? No, well, it could be, but it's actually a grow bag, and these are huge. They're 45 litres. They're really well made. They are pretty much impossible to break, but I mean, we've tried, haven't we?
We have tried.
And Bex knows I've got massive muscles, and I mean, even I haven't managed to break one of these. But they are brilliant for growing fruit trees. Got fruit trees coming up. You've done potatoes in these, haven't you?
Yeah, good potatoes in these. I've actually got a bunch that I'm going to use them as like a temporary home for some plants.
Yes, great idea.
When I finally move home, I'm going to take some with me, and this is going to be a temporary home for them.
So that is your free gift with every single order. All you need to do is use the offer code, which is YGTV4924, and that unlocks all the promotions. We've also got a giveaway, haven't we?
Oh, yes, we have. The giveaway is...
Had you forgotten that?
I'd forgotten.
It's all right. Yeah, it's early.
Just waking up.
To be fair, we were just before we went live, we were trying to sort out a light. Bex was trying to sort out one of the lights has gone, so you're probably in a bit of a fluster, aren't you?
I am flustered. I literally ran in with 2 seconds to go.
Yes, but the giveaway...
Yeah, so it's our beautiful holly trees, the standards. They actually come with... This one's... We've potted it in already, but they come with the planters for you to plant them in as well. And all you have to do is email us. So the email address is ygtv@yougarden.com. Email subject line is...
Holly.
That's it. That's all you have to do. Put Holly in the subject line. Send us that email to ygtv@yougarden.com by the end of this coming Thursday, and we're going to draw one lucky winner.
Yeah.
You'll get a pair of these.
There's also a separate prize draw on our TikTok, so you can actually enter it there, on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So we've actually got 4 pairs of those to give away, and you can actually enter on all of our different platforms as well. Right, other things you need to know.
Yes,
free postage.
Yeah, this is brilliant actually, because well, we've got a couple of things here. If your order is under 40, there's just one postage cost of $6.99. So even if you've got 3 or 4 items and they've all got a postage attached to them, it will just be the one postage cost of $6.99. But I hate paying postage. Let's get the order to over £40. Use our code. It says, do you have an offer code when you place an order? Put that code in there, and that will give you that free postage.
And actually, it's quite easy to get to that over £40.
So easy,
we've got some great pots coming up. I won't give you the details yet, but we've got the Somervilles, a pair of those for under £23.
And the barleys, I can't remember what price they are, but they are amazing.
I think they work out about £9 each.
It was a buy one, get one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they don't have the drainage holes in the bottom at the moment. You can drill them in because they're made of plastic, so it's really easy to do. But I'm going to use these actually for my indoor plants.
Yeah.
That.
I love that idea. So loads happening. Now, we would love you to be part of the show. I mean, it's wintry, blustery, windy outside. It's not particularly nice. So, in fact, I hardly got any sleep because the storm was really...
So raging in the countryside.
Well, I live in the countryside, I must admit it. Yeah, so although I seem quite lively now, just you wait.
We're going to be dosing them up with as much coffee as we possibly can today. That's
I didn't get much sleep, but I know a lot of you will be staying indoors this morning. So I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you'd like to be part of it, don't forget you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. You can also chat with us live on Facebook and on YouTube as well. But we'd love to hear from you. Let us know what's been happening in your garden.
A bit of storm damage.
I was going to say, I bet the conversation this morning will probably be storm damage.
Victoria, morning everyone. Storm has damaged the garden. Big clean up today. Yeah, absolutely. Good morning to you. Good morning to George, Elaine, Grimmy, Ruth. No Neil yet. I'm sure he'll be here soon. Be there. But yes, good morning to you all. If you want to join the chat on YouTube, please go ahead. I've got the iPad here ready, and I will also check on the emails.
And don't forget, if you are placing an order with us this morning, that is the offer code for this week, YGTV4924. Right, we're going to go over this weather because we have got our favourites table.
Yeah.
These have been some of the best sellers this week.
And it changed. We didn't get it right earlier on in the week at all.
No, we thought we knew where your favourites were. But...
we totally didn't, did we?
Well, actually, no surprises. Actually, the favourite this week has been our deal of the week, which are the pre-planted pansy cool wave hanging baskets. These are down to £9.99. If you are one of our many 45,000 club members, you'll actually get these for £8.99. And I mean, they are just about to burst into flower, and they're going to flower all winter long. In fact, we said 10 months of the year with these.
Yeah, they can do for up to that long, can't they? And they're so easy, honestly. The colour mix that you get with the pansy cool wave, the berries and cream, though, I think that this one is absolutely beautiful. It's quite the stunning mix. You've got the purples and the creams in there. Quite high-end, quite
I was going to say, it's very
it?
tasteful, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And I like the fact, actually, that we've matched the colour of the pot with the colour of the flowers that you're getting. They will tumble, they will trail, they will cover that pot eventually, but it is lovely that it's matched there. You will get the hanging bits to attach to the pot.
Yes, you get the clips as well.
Yeah, but you could leave it as a pot and then it'll just tumble over the edges.
And although I said these are all covered in buds, in fact some are a bit more in flower than this one, but when they flower, they just do not stop. And this variety has been bred, so we say it flowers all year round. The only months it kind of dies down a bit is July and August, when it gets a little bit too hot for it. But the flowers, when you see the colours, they are absolutely magnificent. Purples and mauves and white. And you get hundreds, if not thousands. Now, the flowers are slightly bigger than a viola, but slightly smaller than some other regular pansies out there. They generally cascade and trail, so they tumble over the sides of the hanging baskets, and they will give you that winter magic, that winter colour. They have been grown in the pots, so all the hard work has been done, and I'm not being funny, for £8.99 for club members. I don't think you could make it for that, do you?
No, you definitely couldn't. We've taken all the hard work out of this. You just need to get it out the box, give it a water, give it a little bit of attention, hang it or put it on a table somewhere, outside for you to enjoy that. They're going to flower for you right the way through till those hot months.
Yes.
That's basically when they give up flowering, and then you trim them back, put them somewhere shady, and then bring them back out again at the end of the summer, and they will do it all again for you. That's the beautiful thing with these. Very simple, very long flowering, and very high-end colour mix.
Yeah, I love it. Really tasteful. So purple and white just works so well. Lots of you have been multi-ordering those, so if you want to go for a pair, if you want to go for several of them, they would make a lovely gift as well. And they're 450151. If you're not a club member, by the way, you can join the club today. It's our brilliant discount club. Costs £5 a year on auto renewal, and you will instantly get a 10% saving on all of the plants, the compost, the pots as well. Now, this has been really popular.
I'm so excited about this because this is your opportunity to be able to own your own olive tree. Now, I always wanted them. I've always looked at them whenever I go to the garden centres. They've always been just too expensive because, you get those big ones and never been able to buy them. I have now invested because, fortunately, YouGarden bring us amazing deals. But this one is our mini olive standard, so this is going to turn into a lovely tall tree for you. It's going to take a few years to get there because they're nice and slow growing, but we love olives because they are evergreen for starters. Another one actually that people have outside of like high-end boutique hotels and businesses and things, and there's a reason they have them, isn't there? Because they're evergreen, because they're low maintenance, and they're actually winter hardy as well, which is surprising, isn't it, considering that these come from lovely hot countries.
Yeah, I mean, we say winter hardy, it's about -8. I mean, I've got quite a few olive trees. I've had some of mine 15, 20 years because they're very long lived, actually.
Yeah.
Olive trees can live for decades and decades. But this is, as Bex said, it's a lovely opportunity for everyone to have an olive tree. And in the springtime, you get all of the lovely kind of creamy yellow blossom. They turn into olives. Sometimes the olives will ripen when we get those nice long hot summers. Sometimes, I'll be honest, they're more decorative. It depends on where you live and how much sunshine they get. But they look great, don't they?
They do look great, and as Shaun said, these are very, very long-lived. And the fact that it's a small one, it's our mini olive standard. It means that actually this is one of those ones that you can nurture, that you can take on its journey. You can watch it grow. It can live with you forever. Basically, you'll have this for as long as you're here for.
It could certainly outlive us, Bex.
Absolutely. I would give this one just a little bit of winter protection this year, though. I know we say winter hardy, and we say that down to what did we say? -7, -8. But because it's a baby, I'd probably just bear that in mind.
Just
it
keep
might
your eye
need
on the
that
temperatures.
extra little bit of winter protection.
Now we're going to move on to the most incredible plants.
Oh, I love this.
I mean, see, Bex and I, we've got quite different gardens, but sometimes we overlap in terms of what we love, and we both absolutely adore the Erigeron for so many reasons.
Yeah, well, it's easy. First
Yeah.
of all, it's super easy. To be honest, once you plant it, you just leave it alone. I've never deadheaded.
No, I
Actually,
haven't.
I did trim it back once, just because it was coming out into the garden a little bit too much. But that's it. The rest of the time, I leave it alone, and it flowers constantly, non-stop, for I'd say a good 8 or 9 months. I think mine started in around April. It first started coming out.
I'd say 9 months. Yeah.
And it went right the way
Yeah.
through till those first frosts we had, like in the middle of November. That's how long it went for, and it just kept doing it for such a long time.
It's one of those plants that really survives in the poorest of soils and conditions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've got mine in kind of an area that's because I live in a new build, and there was a bit of an area that was full of rubble and stones, and do you know what? It thrives there. So poor soils, it's absolutely great in poor soils. I consider it ground cover because it spreads beautifully even up to about a metre when fully established in terms of width. These are so well grown already.
Yeah, look at those.
I mean, look at those.
It's a rooty beauty.
It is a
isn't
rooty beauty.
Absolutely.
And although the flowers, I always say this with the flowers, although if you look at them individually, you wouldn't look at each individual flower and go, oh my word, that is so exotic. But when you see them en masse, because this produces thousands of flowers in a season, and they change colour, so you get different shades of pink and white, the impact that it gives you is very striking. So if you've got that difficult area, stony area, gravelled areas, I've even seen these grown out things like stone walls and pavements. It is a beautiful plant, fully winter hardy, and you actually get all three of those for £7.49. Works out, they're normally about £10 each. These work out £2.50 each day. In fact, for club members, £6.74, so that works out £2.25.
Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, we had an email from Kathy on Thursday.
Oh, yes, we did.
Who just says, love my Erigeron. And she sent us a couple of pictures, and it is worth showing this. I love it. And this is why we love Erigeron, honestly, because you get this lovely daisy-like flowers, and it just flowers for ages. It takes very little care and attention. It's drought tolerant once you get it in and get it established.
Yeah, it's easy.
It fills gaps in borders.
Is that in a pot, do you think, Bex?
I reckon that's in the ground.
Do you? I can't quite work it out because it looks slightly... Is it my eyes? To me, it looks slightly above...
It might be slightly raised a bit, I don't know.
It just looks a bit above the
Kathy,
pavement.
if you're watching today, let us know. Have you got that in the ground, or is it in a pot somewhere?
Yeah, or a raised board. I can't... Just
Can't quite tell. But it's lovely, actually, in a raised board.
Oh, it is.
And then because it'll just tumble over the edge for you, won't it?
But they are brilliant ground cover. They are so easy.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, one of the best performing plants that Bex and I know. And that is only 7,410. You do get all three of those, 560, 640. Now is still a good time to plant, by the way, as long as the ground's not frozen. Yeah. Then it is a great time to plant. Now, also, we have got some incredible offers on bare roots.
Now these are good.
Yeah, in fact, these two we put side by side because they actually work very well together, as Bex will tell you. But hardy geraniums, another of our favourites. And Bex and I, we've been doing this show now for about a year and a half. And over that time, we really have drawn to certain plants more than others, haven't we?
Yeah. And these, any hardy geranium is going to go into my top 10.
Same here.
That should be in your garden. Absolutely.
I'm going to say top 5.
Yeah. Do you know what? You
I think so.
Could easily do that. Now, we put these together because a happy accident that happened in my garden is I planted some Erigeron near some geranium roseanne, and the two things have just sort of worked their way into each other, and it is the perfect combination. It looks amazing. But geraniums and hardy geraniums, they are such hard workers. Very similar to Erigeron, basically. Yeah. Can tolerate a poor soil, loves a sort of sunny position, can cope with a part shady position, flowers for months on end, and you have to do very little. Yeah. Plus, pollinators adore them.
And they are fully winter hardy. They do die down in the winter, but they come back every single year bigger and stronger. But I think it's always, I mean, these are not, please don't get these confused with bedding geraniums that, go black with the first sign of frost. These are perennials. These come back every single year. Now, to buy them as a bare root is really a brilliant idea because it makes them so much more affordable. I mean, in the summertime, we will sell hardy geraniums like the geranium roseanne in a 2-litre pot for the best part of £12–13. If you buy them as a bare root and plant them now, by the time summer comes, you're going to have beautiful, established geraniums. They will flower next year, but rather than spend maybe 12, 13, even maybe £15 each, you're literally spending about £1, let me get this right, 133, I'm going to say.
Something like that.
Is it 140? No, hang on. 140.
There you go.
Oh, hang on, no, it's not, Bex. I'm rubbish today. No, I've got it. It's 160 a plant. That's definitely right. 160 a plant.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm not even going to try and pretend I know.
It's Sunday morning. My maths is normally good, but my brain's just waking up because I didn't get a lot of sleep after that storm. But yes, that is definitely the price we pay, 160. Are these open, Bex?
Yeah, I think there's one.
Right,
Yeah, they look a bit weird, and it is quite important to point out. You might already know this, but if you don't and it's brand new to you, a bare root is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's a root. It's a bare root plant. It is important to get these planted soon, though, to be honest with you. It's not like, bulbs need planting soon, but you can leave a bulb for a little while. These need to remain moist, and they come to you in a bag with soil in there, and that's the reason they need to be planted relatively quickly. And
this is what they look like. So that's the crown there.
Looks like an alien.
It does look a bit like an alien. That looked like my beard before I had it trimmed this week. But that's the crown there. That's where the plant is going to really just flourish from and give you those amazing flowers. But they're really strong and healthy. You look at that. There's, you can see there. These are all the shoots. Just all we say is give them a good soak when they arrive. That's really important.
It is really important. It wakes them up. So, yes, soak them in a bowl of water. I mean, with these, you don't need to do it overnight. I would say for at least just a couple of hours, basically, and then plant them. It's up to you whether they go in the ground or whether you might want to consider maybe putting them in a pot. A temporary home, just to get them established, get them started, make sure you don't accidentally dig them up. Yeah. Because that can happen,
I was just going to say that. And also maybe, I'm not being funny, but maybe your garden is a bit wet at the moment.
Waterlogged at the minute, maybe.
But just grow those in pots, and then in late spring, you'll have all of that new growth. You can put them in your beds and borders. At the moment, because I would put them in pots, just because most people's gardens are, say, a little bit wet today, and it just means that you know exactly where they are. You don't lose them, because I've done that before. I've planted bare roots and then dug them up, and not.
I think I've done it countless times. Where I've dug up a bare root accidentally.
Oh no, that's where I planted so and so. But the value, just by being a bit smart and clever now and planting those, you're going to get geraniums that will come back many, many years for £1.60 each. And I promise you, in summer, we do sell hardy geraniums for the best part of £12, £13, sometimes even $14.99. So it's a great way of saving money and having plants that are true performers. We do love geraniums. It's been wonderful last year and a half working in the potting shed, but both of us have worked for YouGarden for many years. But trends change as well, and I think because of climate change, and it has been maybe a little bit difficult gardening-wise the last few years. So you are looking for those absolute winners that will deliver and perform no matter what the weather.
And that's why they are in our top 5 of all the plants you should have in your garden. Absolutely, hardy geraniums are in there. We've got another one to add in though. It's the iris, which is another bare root for you. So we've got the iris in here. How many's in here? I can't remember. 5 as well.
I think it's yes.
Yeah, so you're getting 5 of the bare roots in there, very similar to the hardy geranium. So get them planted out as soon as you possibly can. What you get with this though is some of the most flamboyant, character-filled flowers that you can possibly imagine. Iris are just, I love them so much. They've got such character, but these add height into your borders.
When you look at the individual, I call them faces, you're right, there's so many different personalities here. I can see little faces, can you?
Definitely.
Yeah, look at them.
I often talk about, Alice in Wonderland, one of my favourite movies as a kid, and I'm sure it was an iris, wasn't it, when she's walking through the flowers. It was like an old lady voice talking to her. And they do have character, they have beauty, and they have height. So they can get to between sort of 2 and 3 feet in height here. So nice sort of tall, sturdy stems. I'd still think about planting it somewhere a little bit more sheltered. I don't think they'd have survived any of the gales blowing across your garden last night, would they, Shaun? But yeah, they are beautiful, and they are a perennial that will come back for you year after year after year. Plant them in groups, though. I would definitely recommend that. I think
agree.
A couple of flowers on their own looks a little bit lonely. So maybe put 3 bare roots together, 2 in another space.
And this particular variety, do like it fairly moist, don't they?
They do, actually. So these are really good. I mean, they'd probably work really beautifully in my clay soil because it does hold on to the moisture. But if you wanted to plant these around the edge of a pond or something, these would work well because they do love the moisture.
And you are getting all 5. So same, you could put them in your beds and borders now, or you could grow them in pots and then plant them out when they're a little bit more established in spring and early summertime. Now, we are delighted to be with you this morning. We are live until 12:30 today, and this is all about you being part of our garden community with YouGarden. We've got loads happening right now, and although I know often we think of gardening mostly in the spring and summer, but it is all year round. And Bex and I, we're here every week, and there's always something you can be doing in your garden. Planting, planning, changing things, and we have got a few little seasonal items coming up a little bit later on as well. But this, oh my word, this is going to produce the most stunning cherry blossom next year. And I know when you look at this, you go, like, oh, it's a twig. I know, no, but it's true, isn't it? You look and go, oh, Bex is holding a twig.
Yeah.
But
well, it's a witch's broomstick, is what Stuart normally calls it. No, look, it's a bare root. Okay, so it's exactly the same as the bare roots that we were talking about before. These are dormant plants. They've been kept in cold storage, haven't they? So they're fast asleep. By removing them from that cold storage, we're starting to wake them up. By soaking the root ball when you get it home, that also then wakes it up even more. They come to you like this, wrapped in that plastic, helps to keep the root sort of moist there. So you're just going to unwrap that plastic, and then you're going to soak this. This would be an overnight soak.
Yeah, definitely.
Put it in a bucket of water, let it have a good drink. That's going to then wake it up, and then you're ready to plant this out. Now, the cherry prunus, the Kanzan, is your traditional cherry tree. Okay, so this is going to get really nice and tall, isn't it? I mean, it has been grafted, so we are talking about slightly more compact, but still probably
about
2
3
and a half,
meters,
at least meters in height. But oh my word, the spray of flowers that you're going to get from this, because it covers the branches on here.
I mean, you're buying a broomstick today.
Yeah.
but
this
is what it's going to look like, and you will get blossom next spring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you will, but give it 2-3 years.
Oh, that's what you're going to get.
Oh, I mean, do you know what?
That's beautiful, isn't
driving to work in the slightly stormy conditions today, it was all a bit bleak, but that's what gives me inspiration, knowing that next year, April, May time, your cherry prunus Kanzan will be covered in the most amazing double blossoms. And what is so nice with this one, often the blossom comes out before the leaves, so the leaves will just be beginning to form. So all you see is blossom, and that for me is magical. It's one of the most beautiful sights you could ever imagine. And I know as a child, I remember our next door neighbours having a blossom tree. I remember always being in love with it and waiting for the blossom to come out. Nice sunny spot would be ideal for this, but if you've got somewhere sunny but slightly sheltered, that would be even better, because obviously you want that blossom to stay on as long as possible. And the great thing about YouGarden, all the planting instructions with everything that we bring you are on our website as well. So, if you forget what Bex and I are saying, we've got loads and loads of great advice on the website. And also, a lot of the products now have got little videos. I know this one has, it was one I did last year.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. I stumbled across it. I was like, oh, I've aged. But Bex and I and the team, we're putting together as many videos as possible, so you can just click on a product and press the play button and get all the information that you need. But that is a stunning blossom tree, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh.
I mean, cherry blossom time, that time of year is just magical, isn't it? It's beautiful when the blossom starts coming out, that springtime feeling. Yeah, summer's just coming. That's the exciting thing.
Yeah. And this one just gets covered. Absolutely. All you can see is pink blossom.
Yep.
I want April to be here, don't you, Bex?
Yes, please.
Yes.
All right, no, let's do Christmas first, and then we can get excited about spring.
Do you know what I tried last night, Bex? Some dried raspberries.
Did you?
Yeah, out of a packet.
Were they nice? I mean, I've had them before, like on desserts and things, but no.
I was at a friend's and she said, oh, look, try that. So I hope she's not watching. I wasn't sure.
No.
No, I like them fresh.
I bet they'd be a bit bitter.
No, they were sweet. They're like sweets.
Were they?
Yeah, anyway, sorry if you're watching. I mean, they're okay. But I think there's nothing better than a fresh raspberry.
Well, this is why we love a bit of grow your own, isn't it? And we talk a lot about grow your own here at YouGarden because we do so many different things where you can. We've got fruit trees and we've got blueberries and straw. We've got all sorts.
We've got everything, haven't we, pretty much?
This one I'm really excited about because these come to you as 5 raspberry canes. Again, bare roots ready for you to plant out here. This is what they're going to look like. So unwrap them again, soak them, plant them. What I love about this, though, is that we've got a prima cane variety rather than a floricane. What that means is that this is going to flower on the new, fruit. Well, flower and fruit on the new growth, as opposed to the other variety, which is flowering and fruiting on last year's growth. The reason that's exciting is it just makes your life really simple. It does. You don't have to worry about which cane am I pruning to the ground this year because then I've got to make sure I've got the other cane from last year to get fruits. And you don't have to worry. Every year, you just trim them right back down to the ground. Because then every year they'll grow again, and then you know you're going to get fruits and flowers on that. Plus, this is a compact variety as well. So other varieties can get to, 2.5 metres? These, we're talking a metre, metre and a half, which makes it, again, a lot simpler for us as gardeners, doesn't it?
And it does mean that, your free gift today, your grow bag, you could actually... If you just want to buy the raspberry stem, they're £7.99 or £7.90 for club members, you could actually grow them in this bag.
You could.
You really could. I'll be honest, you could do, but I think the heavy-duty pots would be even better.
Yeah, look, the heavy-duty pots have got the handles on there, but then these have as well.
No, actually, no. Both.
It's up to you. Both. These are slightly bigger. So these are 45 litre capacity, and the heavy-duty pots are 30 litre capacity. But I don't think it matters. Either way, it's up to you which ones you want to go for.
But if you thought, I'd love to grow raspberries, but you don't have a big garden, compact variety, they fruit on the new growth. So you will get fruit next autumn with these.
Yeah.
And there is nothing nicer than going out in the garden, picking fresh raspberries, bringing them in, having them with a little pouring of cream or ice cream. Absolutely delicious.
Oh, you're making a pavlova. You want some raspberries to go with it.
Yeah. Oh. Raspberry jam.
You can freeze them.
Yeah.
If you get lots of them, you can absolutely freeze your raspberries.
And Martin, Stu's having a day off today, by the way, so Martin is with us. Martin just said, a couple of raspberries in a little glass of Prosecco or your G&T.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, lovely. It's true.
To be honest, they won't make it in the house, though, will they? You'll just go out, you'll pick those raspberries, you'll eat them straight from the plant for your breakfast.
But it's a very easy variety of raspberry cane to grow. I say, very simple, you cut it right back every year, and it always fruits and flowers on the new growth.
And it's award-winning as well, by the way. RHS giving it their award of garden merit. So, a proven performer, and it's got all of those amazing other benefits that we've talked about.
I always think when you know that something's been given that award, the RHS award of garden merit, you do know that it's going to deliver and perform, and it is going to be reliable.
Yeah.
It's not something that's will only do well in certain areas and with a certain level of gardening experience. That is the easiest, I think, raspberry to grow. Certainly one of them. For you, yeah?
For sure.
See, I haven't got that one. I'm very tempted. I haven't got any raspberries.
Well,
I've got strawberries. I haven't got raspberries.
I do strawberries.
And you've got blueberries.
And blueberries. Yeah. So if I added raspberries in there, I've got my pavlova sorted for next year.
Yeah. So I've got a few different soft fruits, but I haven't actually got raspberries at the moment. Right. We have also got this morning some amazing deals on pots. Should we start with Somerville?
All right, let's do it, yes. So, we were very excited about these big pots the other day because the price on here is incredible, but it's one of the biggest pots that we've ever brought, isn't it? And these are the nice deep ones as well. So we've got the 13-inch diameter, but check out how deep these are. So if you wanted to grow, I don't know, one of our fruit trees maybe, you probably could grow those in here. If you wanted to grow, your raspberries, you could grow these in here. Yeah. Any of our standards, you could put these in here. I'm saying this because actually having a deeper pot means that, when we do have these windy days, hopefully they are less likely to blow over.
And I think, for me, these are statement pots. So if you want a really big statement, either side of your patio doors, your front door, your back door, somewhere really prominent in the garden, and they look to me like they've been made of a beautiful kind of stone. You'd never guess that these were man-made. I love the design. You've actually got that design on both sides as well.
It's almost like I don't know what it is.
See, I saw
like a sunflower.
I was going to say, I saw it as a sort of abstract sunflower.
Yeah.
But it's really nice. And the great thing about these pots, we always talk about drainage, but These are actually, if I just show you, they are not coming with drainage to start with, but they have got the areas ready for you to drill. Now, the reason we've done this is so you could actually use these as indoor pots as well. So if you've got maybe a really big house plant that you've had many years and you need to repot it, you could actually have these indoors as well. They would make a lovely indoor pot, wouldn't they?
I love the idea, yeah. And do you know what? It's really simple to drill the holes in. Obviously, it's a plastic pot. It's UV stabilised. It's frost resistant. It comes with all those benefits that, you know, I would not be able to do that with a ceramic or stone pot. It would have cracked and broken it. It's lightweight and it's easy to move around, but that also makes it easy to be able to drill the holes in. Get your drill into the bottom here. It's so simple. It's not going to crack and break like it can do if you're trying to drill into ceramic and stone. So it's a 2-minute job, isn't it?
I also thought as well, if you have maybe got a living Christmas tree.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. You could actually plant it in there, couldn't you?
Really good idea.
You know, or even just have it standing there while you're, say, enjoying it for the Christmas period. But we are doing a buy one get one free. So normally £23 each, but you are going to get one absolutely free today. And that club discount price is just over £20. So for club members, and there's 45,000 of you, working out just over £10 a pot. They're lovely, aren't they?
I mean, £10.35 as a club member for one of those.
Do you know
that's really good.
If you saw it in the garden centre, one of those, and it was £30, you would never question it.
I wouldn't question it.
No, I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't.
Because of the size of it.
Yeah. But they are here at YouGarden. We are working out about £10 a pot there for club members. If you're not a club member, you can join today. Now they're the biggest ones we've got. They're called the Somerville, but we've also got these beauties as well.
Yeah, the Barleys. Now, obviously, just that little bit smaller, which might be more manageable, more the sort of size that you're actually looking for. I'm very tempted to go for these ones because these would work perfectly for some of my indoor plants. Again, it's been designed to be an outdoor pot. Absolutely, you can use this outdoors. Drill some holes in so you've got the drainage, but I like that design.
Do you think they work okay grouped together, Bex?
Yeah, for sure.
See, I quite like that, don't you?
Yeah, I think that works.
I'm just thinking if you get 2 of the Somervilles and 4 of the Barleys, you could have two lots of 3 grouped together.
Absolutely, yeah, that's really pretty.
Yeah, like that.
So these do look like, some kind of carved stone, don't they? They've actually got real texture to them as well. A really, what's the word you use when you talk about colour?
Palette?
No, they are neutral. There we
go. Normally I'm good at filling in Bex's lost words, but I was like,
I like it when you read my mind. They're very neutral colour, aren't they? Which means that they're going to work in all sorts of gardens. If you've got a traditional garden, a cottage style garden.
But equally, they'd work in contemporary, wouldn't they?
Totally. Yeah. 13-inch diameter, so same diameter as the other ones, but just that little bit shorter. Again, lightweight, UV stabilised, frost resistant. So please don't think, oh, they're plastic. Ugh. Like I used to be. I used to be a right plastic snob when it came to pots. I just used to think,
snob.
I did. I was like, no, the pot needs to be stone. And I used to spend more money on the pot than I did on the plant. Buying a new plant, before I found YouGarden, this is, used to be incredibly expensive because you'd spend a fortune on the plant and then spend more on the pots.
Oh, we need to give you the details of these, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
those are still the Somervilles.
So sorry, the Somervilles
that's
were the ones for $22.99, and then the Barley, be pleased anyway, because the price of these is even lower.
Well, it's a buy one, get one absolutely free on this.
And again, you can use these as an indoor pot. So they've got the actual place to drill, so that's all been done for you. But at the moment, you have actually got a solid bottom. So if you wanted to put a house plant in there...
I've got a solid bottom.
Well, you've been doing it recently, Bex. Buy one, get one, absolutely free at $17.99. Or club members, £16 and 19p. Oh, now, Penny...
Penny's asking about the competition on Facebook. How does she enter the competition on Facebook?
Well, it's on our Facebook page.
I think it's on our Facebook page,
yes.
Penny. So if you go to the YouGarden Facebook page, there'll be a video. So you can just scroll through. I think it's me, isn't it?
It's you.
Video.
It's you.
Yes, it's me. So if you just
something that looks just like Bex.
If you scroll through, you'll find a video of me talking about it. And I think what you've got to do is you've got to like, you've got to comment, you've got to share or something like that on Facebook.
Yeah.
And that's it. Then you've entered on Facebook. We've also got the same competition running on Instagram. Plus, we've got one running on TikTok as well. So if you just find the YouGarden page on any of those social media channels and find the video associated to it, it explains what you need to do.
And so just go on Facebook, type in YouGarden.
It's generally like, share and comment.
I think, it'd be one of the most recent posts post, definitely.
Yes,
yeah,
definitely.
So just scroll down, you'll find
thanks
it.
for asking, Penny.
Yes.
We've also got one available for you YGTV viewers, and you can all enter this competition. Now, absolutely. You can all enter it today on YGTV, but you can also go to all 3 of the other places, Instagram, Facebook and TikTok. So you can enter 4 times if you want to. Just increase your chances of winning. You're going to get a lucky winner will get 2 of our Holly Standards plus the pots to pot them in as well.
But we've actually got 4 pairs of these to give away. Now, if you've got any other questions, so Bex and I and Martin, we're with you until 12:30 today. We've got some great prices on some brilliant products and something for everybody. But also, any questions you've got, we are here to answer those as well.
So everyone's Ruth is saying, Bex, the raspberry with this code, which was 33008, is $12.99 and 10 canes. It's like the 5 cane raspberry. It looks like the 5 cane raspberry is not available.
Ooh, I think
we'll have to double check on that one for you, Ruth.
Yeah. Did you put the offer code in? That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. So, I'll have a little look on that. Maybe Shaun's going to talk about compost, and I'll have a quick search
Bex,
on
have
that
a look
just
at
to
that.
double check.
Just a general rule. If ever you put something in your basket and the price isn't what we're saying, it's normally because you haven't used the offer code. So do also bear that in mind. The offer code this week is YGTV 4924. But Bex is going to have a look at that now.
I'll check the raspberries while Shaun talks to you about the compost.
Sounds like a deal, Bex. Right, so what we've got for you, I'm over there. There you are. There, hello. Oh. I like you there. You're from a distance. I like that. Don't get too close to me on a Sunday morning. But what we've got for you right now is our premium professional compost. There you are. Which we have got this morning. I'll give you the details actually for kind of this, because we have not put the price up of our compost since we started YGTV, and that was about 1.5 years ago. So we've kept the price the same. And this is still our best selling product here at YouGarden. Now it arrives like this. So and I know a lot of you have bought this and continue to buy it, but it is a commercial product. So it arrives in plain packaging. There's no mark and spill or anything like that, because this is the compost that we actually use in our nursery. So anything that we grow, I mean, each year we'll grow about 150,000 roses from bare roots. The hanging baskets today, the Panzer Cool Wave, again, we will grow tens and tens of thousands of those. So it is a compost that we use to grow on our nursery. We've actually got 2 sites as well. And I can honestly say, out of all the products that I've worked with YouGarden, I've worked with YouGarden for, I think it's about 21 years now. Many of you will now used to work on the shopping channel, and I'd present a show every Sunday all about gardening, and it was always YouGarden products. So I do know this compost very, very well, and I have used it for many, many years. So why is it so good? Well, first of all, if you look at the texture of it, it has got the most incredible fibrous texture. When you open up the bag, you'll see it's so consistent in terms of texture. You won't fancy like big lumps, big chunks or anything like that. And that's because you've got 50% composted wood fibre. And because that texture is so good and so even, what it allows any plant to do, from a seed right the way through to trees, it allows the roots to find everything that they need. So you imagine tiny little delicate roots on a seed, for example, or a plug plant. They can access water, oxygen, nutrients, everything that they need is accessed instantly. You've also got in here what I call an insurance when it comes to feeding, a slow release fertiliser. And throughout the compost, throughout this beautiful, beautiful compost, you're going to find these, and these are your slow release fertilizer pellets, and they will give your plants food for up to 5 months, maybe even a little bit longer. Now there are also different types of peat in here. There's white peats, there's dark peats, there's renewable peats like the sphagnum moss peat, and we have reduced the quantity of those peats to work with environmental issues and needs. But at the same time, I do think that a lot of the peat-free compost do struggle to give your plants the support that they need. I mean, we'd all love to go peat-free, but I'm sure many of you will have been disappointed with certain peat-free compost. So you've still got a level of peat in here to give the plants that support that they need. You've always got things like a wetting agent. Now, it's very windy outside today. On a day like today, even though it's winter, even though it's December, pots and baskets can dry out very quickly in those strong winds. What this does, when you rehydrate your basket, your pots, it allows the water to stick to the compost instantly, which is brilliant, because sometimes you'll have a hanging basket, it's dried out, you get your watering can, you try and water it, all the water literally pours off to the side. Have you ever done that and you're thinking, why is the water not going into the compost? Well, this has a wetting agent, so it does that. And then finally, there's also what we call a pH buffer, and what that does, it makes the compost the perfect pH for virtually all plants out there. The only exceptions are acid-loving plants, things like your blueberries, rhododendrons, camellias, things like that. But nearly every single plant will be very, very happy in this compost. And it is brilliant. And I know, just in terms of uses, I mean, I recently planted up the pub garden that I look after for winter. And honestly, things are thriving there. They really are. If you ever buy any plug plants for us, this is our perennial collection. Again, just put the plug plants in this compost and you'll be amazing how quickly they grow and establish. They get amazing roots and shoots and flowers. Great for all types of plants, including house plants as well, if you're repotting house plants. These were some of the violas that I planted up earlier on in the year. These are some of the big containers I've got in the pub garden. I've put lots of primroses and primroses in there. But when you've got this compost, I absolutely guarantee it makes you a better gardener instantly. It gives your plants their best start in life. And when you open up the bag, you'll know how good this compost is. It feels good, it smells good, and it delivers absolutely outstanding results every single time without fail. And all reviews are always, in general, between 4.5 and 5 stars every single time. Did you sort out your raspberries, Bex?
Well, I can't find the pack of 5, Ruth, so I think we must have sold out of the pack of 5, but the pack of 10 is still available.
Ah, okay.
However, if you are looking to get hold of the pack of 5 and you don't want 10, what I would suggest is, unfortunately, our phone lines are not open today on a Sunday, but you could get in touch with our customer services department tomorrow morning and just see if there's anything they can do with that if you are looking for the pack of 5. Unfortunately, I can't get right into the systems, but yeah, it's not coming up anywhere, the pack of 5, but the pack of 10 is, which is on a half-price deal, by the way, at £12.99.
I was going to say, actually, the pack of 10 is better value than 5, isn't it?
It's better value when you break it down, but if you don't want 10, I completely understand. Just get in touch with our customer services tomorrow morning and I'm sure they'll be able to look into it for you.
So how about Bex, because we both wanted the raspberries, if I buy the pack of 10 and give you half?
Sounds good.
That works.
I don't mind.
Right.
It all works for me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Good idea.
Yeah. Right, so lovely to have company. Thank you, Ruth, for flagging that. We really do appreciate it. But yes, good morning. Welcome to YouGarden TV. My name's Shaun with the lovely Bex Edwards, and we are live until 12:30 today. We've got some amazing offers. Don't forget a few of the basics. If you spend over £40, you get free postage. If you want a free gift, would you like a free gift?
I'd like one, please.
Well, we've got one.
I always like a free gift.
And it's a really good one. I love these. This is your heavy-duty bag. It's actually a grow bag. So you can grow... I've grown fruit trees in here. The mini orchard, the apple, the pear and the Victoria plum, I've grown in these. Bex has grown potatoes, raspberry canes, fantastic in here. Yeah. But also they're a really good item just to have for things like shopping, when you go into the recycling centre, when you're buying loads of cat food and cat litter, really heavy stuff. But that is free with every single order. And actually, if you work out the compost, $22.48 for club members and your £5 gift, it makes the compost about $17.50. Yeah, it
really makes it nice and affordable, and it's a really handy bag, one that you will be using loads. All you have to do is use the code when you place your order. It'll pop up on the screen just here, so put that in whenever you place your order where it says, do you have an offer code, and that will automatically get put into your basket for you.
I've never ever broken the handle off one of these.
No.
Never. Look, here we go. You're strong, Bex.
It's because I've been going to the gym.
Yeah.
We're not faking it though, honestly, that is so strong.
Yeah, good. My muscles are massive and I still come back that.
Check it out.
But no, they're really good. So that is your free gift with every single order today. All you need to do is, Bex has just said, use that code YGTV, £40.25. Now, something else that's been selling really well is about mulch.
Can I answer a question quickly?
Yes,
sorry, Grimmy, just before we do that.
Morning, Grimmy.
Grimmy's saying he missed how you enter via email. How do I do it, please? So this is to win our pair of the Holly Standards that we've got here with the pots. Yeah, absolutely. So you could be in with a chance of winning 2 of those.
Yes. They're really lovely.
They are gorgeous. I've got these out the front of my house right now, okay? So I got them a couple of years ago. I've moved them out because they're the perfect festive welcome. But we are giving away 4 pairs for free, 1 for YGTV viewers. So if you want to enter, send an email to the usual YGTV address, ygtv@yougarden.com. All you have to do is put in the subject line the word Holly.
That's it. So you don't have to write anything. You don't have to like, oh, I'm entering the competition, just Holly.
Holly. And that will enter you into the competition. Yeah. You have to do that by the end of Thursday. So this Thursday, as long as you've got your entry in by the end of then, you will be in for a chance of winning. If you want to enter on Instagram, Facebook and YouTube, no. Instagram, Facebook and TikTok, you can do that in all of those places as well. Just go to the YouGarden page on any of those social media channels.
Do well, Bex.
Find the video that relates to it. It'll tell you what you need to do. It's normally things like, comment and share, those sorts of things.
Yes.
Shall I put my teeth back in?
Yeah, we'll get there. That's why there's 2 of us. We
That's
all
what
have
makes it
we
fun,
both
right?
have our moments. Yeah. We don't mind, do we? I hope you don't mind.
I hope you don't mind.
Right.
Mulch.
Do you know what I'm worried about, Bex? We still haven't fixed that light over there, have we?
I know. I will. Well, shall I go and see if I can play with the light? And you tell them about mulch.
Do you want to have a go before we go over there?
I'm going to do that.
Yeah, all right, go on, Bex. Go on. So we look, we don't mind telling you. One of the lights has gone off, hasn't it, Bex? It's one of those mornings. It's fine. Right, I'm going to talk about ornamental spruce bark mulch. Love this. And again, I recently used this in the pub garden, and I used it in a couple of the big planters. They've got euonymus in them. In fact, I could show you. And do you know what? These big planters, they just looked a mess. And this mulch is great for suppressing weeds. It's great in terms of helping to retain moisture. So in the summertime, when you've got areas that dry out quickly, it retains moisture. But also, it really, really, I think, just neatens and tidies everything up. And when you've got it on your beds and borders, it does mean that when you walk over it, you don't get lots of mud stuck to your shoes and your boots. Great for children's play areas as well. So if I've often seen this used around swings and things like that. But I use it as a decorative bark as well. So just around pots and containers, things like that. But also, now we're in winter, if it does get really cold, if you've got any kind of half-hardy perennials, tender perennials, what this will do is give them that extra protection as well. So almost like acting like a duvet. So many, many uses for this one. And we are doing a brilliant deal right now. It's normally £30. We have got it for $14.99 or $13.49. Bex, well done. You sorted out the light.
I am tech queen
You are. That's really good.
I needed to put my glasses on to see what I was doing.
See, I didn't have my glasses. I'm thinking I don't want to start fiddling over there.
Stu told me the other day, he's like, "You've pressed this button," and I could not remember which button he said.
But you've done it.
I've done it.
Well done.
It's fixed.
Now, we've actually got, because this has been selling really, really well, again, postage is included. Club members, you get it for $13.49. But we have got a little clip of film for you right now, just to show you a few more uses of the ornamental spruce bark mulch. Hello, well this is our YouGarden ornamental spruce bark mulch. It looks gorgeous actually, it's a really, really nice quality, but there are so many uses for this. It's great as a weed suppressant. So you've got areas in your garden, beds and borders that get lots of weeds. A nice thick layer of this will just suppress those weeds. Also great as a top dressing around pots and containers. That's what I'm going to use it for here. If you've got children's play areas, it makes a nice soft cushion around those play areas, or maybe areas in your garden that you need to walk over. Having this there just makes it a lot safer and a lot easier. So I'm going to use it here. The reason being, I've got the euonymus here. And to be honest, whenever I've tried to plant things around them, they've never done that well. This is just full of roots. It really, really is. So what I'm going to do, because I think it looks, I just don't think it looks very nice. It looks a little bit ugly. I'm just going to do a nice thick layer of this and just see. Oh, right, see, yeah, this is going to really work. I'll tell you what, because it's autumn as well, I think that's going to look fun. Also, it is a great duvet. If you've got something that's a little bit tender, something like the anigalis that I had growing here in the summer, it's a tender perennial. So if it needs that extra protection from cold weather, then this would be absolutely superb. That looks so good, doesn't it? Really nice. Do you know what I'm amazed about? So I haven't done as thick a layer as you normally would for some other jobs, but it's amazing how far this has actually gone. And some of our regular YouGarden customers have bought several bags of this. It can really just make the whole garden look so much more neater and tidier. So I've just stood back and had a look at this from a distance. What really struck me as well is that all the green foliage now really stands out. You've got the contrast of the green with the bark mulch, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I really should have done this many, many years ago.
So much better.
It really does.
So neat.
Yeah,
and
I know
tidy.
one of our regular viewers, Elaine, I know you've bought 7 or 8 bags of that, and it really does look great. But so many uses, say, suppressing weeds, tidying things up, giving your plants that extra protection. So I think Bex always calls it like a duvet.
Duvet, yeah.
Duvet, but it is. It's
We all
duvet
like
for
a
plants.
duvet day, and your plants like them as well.
Yes, if we weren't at work today.
Oh, it'd be a duvet day, wouldn't it?
It would.
Oh, watch a film.
And I hope you're just maybe sat on the sofa with your duvet around you watching YouGarden.
Ah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, let us know if you are. Let us know if you're having a lazy Sunday with myself, Shaun and Bex. Right, still got loads to show you, and we have got the cutest apple tree. Now, I do remember last year, no, actually this year, wasn't it?
It was.
I remember Bex bringing in her mini apple tree, and I did have a little bit of apple envy, Bex.
Yeah, and
because it was cute, wasn't it?
It's very cute. I love my apple teeny. So this is a really compact apple tree, okay, but it's also going to create really cute little apples as well. It's called apple teeny because they are teeny apples that you're going to get from these, but they're red skinned, they're juicy, they're sweet, they're lovely, and this is a tree that you can grow in the smallest of spaces. So I'm sure when I got mine it was smaller than this, but I'm growing mine in our heavy duty pot, so the 30-litre heavy duty pot, and it's going to live in there all its life. This only ever gets to, I mean, it will get to a couple of metres in height eventually. It'll take a few years to get there. Isn't it, for tree? Still small, definitely. But the blossom you get on this tree, first of all, is really pretty. That's when I brought it in.
Yeah, I remember, and the cutest blossoms on this tree.
Really
and all the blossoms out just before the leaves, wasn't it?
Just before the leaves, yeah. Really gorgeous kind of pinky maroony colour that you get from these. And then they have the opportunity to, honestly, it's even prettier than that picture is telling you.
And I do remember, as the leaves were coming out, they are a lovely colour, aren't they?
They were. They had a really nice kind of bronzy tone, bronzy colour to them.
And there's the apples.
So the apples are red-skinned and white-fleshed and juicy. They are really sweet and delicious, but they are small. They're sort of golf balls, well, a little bit bigger than golf ball size, but they're really small.
So like sort of like a nectarine size?
Like a nectarine size, yeah. Perfect little snack apple, lunchbox apple.
Great
that's
for
a cherry,
kids.
by the way, giving you the
Yeah, that's a cherry, that's the apple. Yeah.
Just showing you the sort of size difference. But it's a real, it's a definite edible, but it's a lovely kind of novelty tree for you to have in your garden as well. And the thing is, you're going to have it for many, many years to come. It's self-fertile, so you don't need to worry about, having another tree to go with it. It'll blossom for you in March, April. It'll fruit for you at the end of summer, between sort of August and into October as well. And this one's already fairly well established, so I would like to think you'll get a little bit of fruit next year. But this is definitely a where you're planting for the future. As we say to you with all, you grow your owns, give it a couple of years to get established. After that, you'll be picking fruit for days.
And look at the price. It's $9.99. And if you think about how many kilos of apples you'll get in your lifetime from this one beautiful tree, and how cute it's going to look. So I remember Bex bringing hers in when it was in blossom, and the leaves just coming out, and it looks stunning. And then to get the benefit of those slightly smaller but incredibly sweet, juicy red-skinned apples. Honestly. Great for kids and grandkids. And I'm not being funny, but I've got an elderly mum, and all food is. My mum looks at all food and goes, "It's too much," No, but she does. My mum's got a very small appetite. She's got older, but so small apples can be just right.
Perfect, yeah.
Yeah, for so many, say different reasons. But it is only $9.99. Normally $12.99, which is still a great price, and it's already really well established in the 13 centimetres. But I love that. Yeah. That's on my list this week, Bex.
I fell in love with it, and as I say, I've had mine for 18 months, 2 years now.
And honestly, you did get some apples last year, didn't you?
I did. I got some apples this year. year.
So this year,
so
yeah.
first year was the first year I planted it, so nothing then. But this year I got some apples.
Yeah.
Next year I'll obviously get even more, and it's just going to keep getting better. And it's going to come with me wherever I go. You know, not for days out. I just
yeah. Hey Bex, what you got with you? Oh, I've got my appletini with me. We're just having a day out.
I just meant because I'm keeping it in pots, it's nice and compact. Whenever I move house, I'm taking that tree with me. Yeah. It's never going to be left behind.
So whatever type of garden you've got, you can grow that in one of our 30-litre pots, or you could grow it in the grow bag. You really could. The free gift today, the grow bag, you could grow that in. Right, we're going to stay with grow your own. We're going to move on to blueberries next. And this is a really wonderful variety because you get an early, a mid, and a late. Now, sometimes we do blueberry collections where you get 3 of the same, so they're all going to fruit at the same time. But this one extends that fruiting season. So we're talking maybe 2 to 3 months of blueberries.
Yeah, honestly.
Amazing.
That's why I added this collection into my garden. My husband loves blueberries. He's a bit of a health freak, and he loves a blueberry.
Your Kev always looks that healthy, doesn't he? So
he does. He's doing
all right.
He's doing quite well, actually.
He's been on a health kick, hasn't he?
He's been on a health kick, yeah. He's doing lots of exercise. I mean, he's bunged up with cold. I woke up this morning, he was in spare bed. I don't know what happened last night.
Hang on, Bex, so that means you're going to get a cold?
I know. I told him to stay away from me. I don't want to get a cold. Don't come anywhere near me.
There's a lot going
He's
around.
not been allowed to kiss me for days.
Well, there's a lot going around. Having said that, if you want to try and stay healthy...
Well, yes.
Blueberries.
So this is why I added this collection into the garden, because I wanted to grow blueberries for him. He loves his blueberries, and they're expensive in the shop. So
really
I thought,
expensive.
you know what, I'm going to grow those blueberries for him. Because you've got that early, mid, and late cropper, it means you're extending that blueberry cropping season. Each one of these has been selected and put into this collection because they are prolific croppers. Now, there's only one thing you need to do. 2 things you need to do. Plant them in sunshine. You don't need to think, oh, part shade will be fine.
No.
Yeah, it'll be all right, but you won't get as many blueberries. So plant them in a full sun position and put them into ericaceous compost. That's not how they prefer it, it's that they must have it. You know, they will give you way more blueberries if you do that. And they are prolific at cropping.
Wow.
So, as Shaun said, for about 3 months, June, July and August, you will be picking so many blueberries. And again, this is a fruit that you can freeze really easily. So when you've got a glut of blueberries, because you will get it, you'll be able to freeze them really easily, and then you can grab a handful to put in for your smoothies or your breakfast or whatever.
And you know, there are certain things that I can't be bothered to grow because you think, oh, they're so affordable in the supermarket.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not being funny, but I don't normally bother with carrots. I don't.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Only because carrots in season are really affordable, but blueberries are always expensive and they don't last. When you buy a punnet in the supermarket, literally you can put them in the fridge and overnight they go off.
Yeah,
I've had that before. So these will give you really fresh, outstanding blueberries, but will save you a small fortune for many, many years.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you've got up to 3 months of cropping here. Now, you always get all the lovely blossom as well, but what is interesting, this is yours in the autumn.
Yeah,
and
so this
what
was done
lovely colours. Was that about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
About 3-4 weeks ago, I reckon. So all of the foliage colours
Wow.
they give one of the most amazing displays of foliage colour in the autumn time. You know, we say this about some plants, but some are better at it than others, and blueberries are definitely better at it. So it's not only a productive and you know, fruitful plant, it's also incredibly beautiful. Now, those are my 3 plants in the heavy-duty pots. So I've got 1 each in the heavy-duty pots, and I planted them just earlier this year. I think it was about springtime that I planted them, and they were in the 9-centimetre pots, and that's the amount of growth you get in 1 year.
They have done phenomenally
They
well.
grow
Yeah.
quick once you get into the summer season.
I reckon you are going to get kilos of blueberries.
I think I'll get plenty next
Yeah,
year.
I
I've got a couple this year, to be honest. But you're not going to get loads in the first year. This is definitely again about planting for the future. I'm going to have so many. Yeah. Pruning is nothing in the first couple of years. You know, the recommendation is don't really do much pruning in the first couple of years. Let them get established. So I'm just leaving mine alone. I'm not touching them, and I'm going to wait and see what happens next year. And then after that, it's minimal care and attention, minimal pruning needed.
I'm really pleased that we're doing those without pots today, because sometimes we do them with pots, but they only come generally speaking, quite small pots.
The little Torinos, yeah.
And they really, the heavy-duty pots are perfect for those. So
and I think we've got a pack of 3 of the heavy-duty pots available. So if you're adding the blueberries in, I would definitely, if you haven't got any of the heavy-duty pots to spare, we never have we? Because we always use them. Get yourself a pack of our heavy-duties as well.
And don't forget, you do need the ericaceous compost. It's on our website, but you really do need that with blueberries. But love that. Say 3 months of delicious fruit for many, many years to come. Right, we're going to move on to the Calicarpa. And this is a plant. It's called Profusion Beauty Berry, the Calicarpa. And I know last year we both fell in love with this, and you can see why. I mean, today's a miserable day outside, but look how beautiful this looks.
I adore this.
And I did say we've got a few festive things coming up, and I include this in my festive list because I think this, covered in some little twinkly lights right now, would look magical, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's great.
I love the purple berries. Purple it's my colour. It's definitely my colour. It's the one that talks to me the most. And so I love the purple colour that you've got in here. I think that the berries appearing on there when there's no foliage on there is magical. It's just like a plant that flowers before the foliage comes. I just think that's so, so pretty. And I really can't wait to see this at full height. Obviously, it's going to take a few years, but this can get to 6 feet height, 4 or 5 feet spread.
I mean, you imagine, a plant that size.
That size covered in those berries. Wow. That's going to look amazing, isn't it? And it's an award winner. It's got the RHS AGM, so Award of Garden Merit, proven performer, fully winter hardy. The RHS have also given it their badge of perfect for pollinators. It's beautiful throughout all the seasons because it keeps changing. And I wish I'd taken pictures of mine. I kept looking at it and thinking I must get a picture of that, and didn't. But the foliage colour on this before it dropped its leaves, it was the most amazing kind of corally salmon pink. It was so beautiful, honestly.
And we forget to talk about the blossoms sometimes.
Yeah, of
the little flowers. And they're only small, but you get lots of them, don't you?
Loads of them, yeah, absolutely.
And each one of those has potential to produce one of these almost like metallic berries. And it is an extraordinary plant. And I love the fact that it does have so many different chapters of beauty. But actually, and I'd like to think I'm like this, Bex, in its autumnal years, heading into its winter years, it looks amazing.
It really does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it just is gorgeous. It's extraordinary. And I remember last year that the berries did stay there.
Ages.
So, way into January, February, didn't they?
Honestly, I mean, the berries on mine stayed right up until the foliage started to appear. And then they sort of started to disappear. The birds will go for them. They didn't seem to go, because it was a smaller plant maybe, they didn't go for mine that much. But yeah, the berries lasted for ages.
Honestly, it is amazing. And do you know what I do? I mean, if you're thinking, right, I want to make my garden look interesting for Christmas. I mean, we've got things like the holly, we've got Christmas trees and your traditional items like hellebores. But imagine that in maybe the Somerville pots.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or do you think it'd be too big? Or do you think that might be too big?
No, I think it'd be fine. It probably won't get to full 6 feet size, but I think it'll still get to a really good size.
But you could make a lovely Christmas display.
That would be beautiful.
With lots of little lights on it. You can underdress it with things like hellebores or some, pine cones. But it's an amazing plant, really is. Right, we better move on there because
another bare root.
Yes, another bare root, but this is a very, very special peony known as Barzella. And
sorry, was that noisy? Apologies. I don't want to open the packet because we can put this back, obviously, for somebody to be able to buy. But a bare root, that's what it looks like a twig, right? When you take that out of the bag, you can see it through the bag there. It does look like a stick, but you'll be able to see. Do you know what? I'm going to open it.
Go on, let's.
It's stupid, isn't it? Just trying to
just while Bex is opening this, this is a very special peony. It's a hybrid, and it is a cross between a traditional peony and a tree peony, so it does get nice and tall. And that's what you actually get.
Yeah, and I can see here. There we go. For clean off the dirt. Look, can you see there?
Yeah.
And there's a shoot.
There's the eyes.
There's another one. There, for clean the dirt off, you can see there's another eye there. And this is where the shoots are going to come from. So we've definitely got 2. I reckon that's a third around that side there. Yeah, that's a third right there.
And we do say each one of these berries should come with 2 or 3 eyes,
So
and they're
look,
going to
there's
produce
3 eyes on that one.
Now, potentially, each one of those could be producing flowers.
Yeah, absolutely.
In the early summer.
And the thing with this one is that it's a mixture, isn't it? It's a hybrid between a tree peony and an intersectional peony, which basically means you're getting the best of the 2 worlds. So with it being a tree peony, hopefully what you're going to get is a stronger stem, stronger flowers, less need for staking.
And I was going to say, Bex, that does appeal to me because I've got quite a few peonies, and a lot of them do need support, and they can sort of like get a little bit messy looking.
Yeah.
Because the flower heads get so big the stems can't support them. These are strong. They shouldn't need all that staking. But look at the colour as well.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? And
it's
it does.
amazing.
The scent of this matches the colour of the
yes.
flower.
Forgot
It's
about
got
that,
a lemony citrus scent to it, and I quite like the fact that you've got those, lemony coloured petals with that kind of orange centre on there, and then you're going to get that lemon citrus scent as well. RHS Award of Garden Merit. Proven performer, love an award winner.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I wish I'd bought this variety because I've got a couple that I'm not as keen on.
No?
I know that's wrong, isn't it? I've got one that really does just flop everywhere. It just doesn't.
I don't have peonies in my garden,
Do you
unfortunately.
not?
I do not have space in the borders for peonies. So
No.
next garden, absolutely, I love a peony, but next garden is going to have one.
And again, just talking about bare roots, it really is such a great way of getting an affordable peony. Again, you could put it straight in the ground. I would be tempted to put it in a pot. Just to get it established, just so you know where it is. It'll start to shoot in early springtime, and then once you start to get a little bit of growth, you could put it in the garden. But you could put it straight in the ground.
Absolutely, they're fully winter hardy, so you definitely can. We only recommend that just because we've probably both dug up. Because the thing is, if you're doing a bit of digging in that particular area of the garden, and you pulled something like that out the ground, you could easily just go, it's a bit of old twig, it's a bit of old root, and throw it away.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm pretty sure I've done that multiple times in the past.
And then you're like, why didn't my peony come up this year?
Because you dug it up and threw it away.
But it really is an extraordinary variety, something really unusual, and it is 580020, but gets to a really big height as well. You get those big flowers that are highly scented as well. And then we have got, I like this collection. I've actually got a couple of these. I haven't got all of them, but this is a winter clematis collection. So I haven't got the freckles, but I have got the other 2. And I can honestly say, to get an evergreen clematis that flowers in kind of like the springtime, so we talk like March, April, May of these, it is extraordinary. And I love the fact it's evergreen, because most clematis, again, in the winter, they look dreadful, don't they?
Yeah, they look so bare, so dull,
just
so
lots of like
boring.
Yeah, lots of twigs just hanging there. Yeah. But these are evergreen.
They are evergreen, so you're always going to have the foliage on there, and you've got the winter flowering, and they do flower at various different times. The lovely one, this one here, the freckles, that is the longest flowering of them all. So freckles can flower between November and May. November, December, January, February, March, April, May. That is 6 and 7 months. Honestly, that could be flowering for once you get that one going and that one established.
I don't have that one, Bex.
Yeah, and I think it's it's probably the most pretty of them, or certainly draws the attention. But I like the other 2 as well. You've got the creamy colours and the white colours with the early sensation and the Wisley cream. The Wisley cream is going to flower between December and February, and the early sensation between March and May. So you're really covering several months with the different flowers that you've got in here. But of course, remember, they are evergreen, so you'll always have that foliage to look at, and they are going to provide a lovely early source of nectar as well, a winter source and an early spring source of nectar too.
I'll be honest, I didn't realise that the freckles could flower so...
Yeah, it can do.
So long and so early.
Absolutely,
wow.
yeah.
I think I might need that one.
Once you get that in, get that established. And the great thing with wisteria as well is, I know they're in the 9 centimetre pots right now.
Wisteria?
What did I say?
Wisteria.
Did I say wisteria again? Clematis. I keep doing that. The great thing with clematis is that they are quite vigorous growing plants.
We do like wisteria as well, by the way.
I love wisteria.
We do, yes.
I think it's the Wisley thing that's got me thinking wisteria. Clematis, they're quite vigorous growers, so they don't take ages to get established and in place. They can cover an area very quickly. The only trick to remember with all clematis, and I'm pretty sure it's all clematis, isn't it, is they like a sunny spot but cool roots.
Well, I've got the Wisley cream and the early sensation in the pub garden, actually. And
Have you?
Yeah, there's a big planter with a huge trellis.
Right.
And They look great.
Really nice.
Yeah, and what is lovely, they generally flower when some of the bulbs are coming up as well.
Okay,
so they look really good. I just wish I'd got the freckles as well. Yeah, maybe I've got enough of them myself. Anyway, right, let's remind you of some of the things we've seen so far today on YGTV. Oh, just quickly, by the way, just want to remind everybody.
Yes.
The off
Free
code
gift.
is YGTV 4924. I love the free gift today. I mean, I think I've got about 8 of these. And these are our grow bags, and basically they're huge. In fact, can I squeeze past?
Do you want a heavy duty pot?
Yeah, that's right, Bex. I'm still slim, he says. Belly sticking out. It's that time of year. I'm just getting a heavy duty pot. I just want to show you the difference in size, because that is 30 litres. Can you just hold that forward next time? So that's 30 litres. That is 45. So if we put the two together, you can actually get more in these. So when they're full, so this is another third as big as the heavy duty pot. But just like the heavy duty pots, you can grow all sorts of fruit and veg in here.
Yeah.
Mini orchards, fruit trees, potatoes,
Anything
raspberry
you
canes.
grow in here, you could grow in
Yeah.
there.
But these are also brilliant for shopping. And do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you and say they are the most stylish bag you'll ever find. But do you know what? They're the strongest. They are. They are the strongest that I've found.
So strong.
And I've even looked really heavy things like cat litter, boxes of cat food, recycling. They're just brilliant. They really are.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
anyway,
imagine that full of 45 litres of compost and whatever plant you're putting in there. Those handles have to be strong enough for you to then be able to move it, and they totally are. I know, I've done it.
That is your free gift. All you need to do to get all of the offers and promotions is put in the offer code, which is YGTV 4924. And don't forget, we have got that prize draw. So if you'd like the chance to win 2 lovely standard hollies with the pinecone planters, all you need to do is email ygtv@yougarden.com, and where it says subject, just put holly. But let's remind you of some of the great items we've seen so far this morning. Right, so we started with... So I'm just laughing, me saying that I'm slim and I could pick up that part, and then my belly stuck out on the way. Brilliant. Right, Pansy Wave, love these. Berries and cream. So these are the best performing pansy that we know, and we really mean that. They flower for 10 months of the year. They gently cascade and trail. The pansies are a bit bigger than a viola, but smaller than some other varieties, and you get hundreds, if not thousands of them. And the colour palette is beautiful. Purples and mauves and whites, really tasteful. They come in the basket, so they come in the matching basket, which is purple, with the hanger as well. So they're ready to go. Instant winter colour, 450151. And then one of the best performing plants that we know, this one, it's a perennial, it's called Irrigaran. And basically, it's a ground cover plant. Some people call it Mexican fleabane. It's got a few different names. But what it does, it starts to flower May time, flowers all the way through to the first frost. So this year mine flowered till November. It covers big, big areas, and it will survive in the poorest of soils. So I've seen this growing out of gravel and cracks in pavements and stone walls. All it needs, I would say, is a sunny spot. It does like sunshine. And what is lovely, as the flowers age, they turn different shades of pink. So you get so many different beautiful shades from the one plant. But for me, it's a really easy plant. It's a ground cover plant, and it delivers year after year. Does die down a bit in winter, but bounces back in spring. 560640. Now, we've also got some bare roots, and these are the Iris Peacock mix. Look at those cute little faces. Aren't they just gorgeous? They really are. They come as bare roots, so it makes them really affordable. They are fully winter hardy, so you can plant them right now, and they will produce masses of these delightful, quite exotic looking flowers. And this particular variety, it does like moist soil. So if you've got an area where it's quite damp and things like that, these will absolutely thrive. 580040. Now, in terms of favourite plants, hardy geraniums have become not just one of my favourite plants and one of Bex's, but one of our head gardener, Peter McDermott. He's the head gardener here at YouGarden. He has got loads of hardy geraniums in his beds and borders. So these are fully winter hardy. They do die down in the winter, but they come back every single spring. They flower non-stop, so starting maybe end of May all the way through again to the first frost. They're great for pollinators. They kind of gently fill in gaps. They've got a lovely kind of natural growth habit to them. So they're not formal looking. They just kind of meander in between other plants, and they'll do very well in sun, but equally part shade and even fairly shady areas, they still seem to really, really thrive. So a very, very easy plant. And honestly, one hardy geranium could cost you, I would say, £12 to £15 in the height of summer. Buy them as a bare root. All the instructions are on there, and you will save an absolute fortune. 580005. And then, this has been really popular. It's our mini olive tree. It's your chance of owning an olive, but at a fraction of the price. Now, these are harder. We said to -8, but with it being a slightly younger plant, you might want to give it just that added bit of protection for its first few winters. Fully evergreen, and in springtime, you get hundreds of these lovely kind of like white little flowers that all have the chance to become an olive. And on a really good year, when we get a nice hot summer, those olives will ripen and taste delicious. But many people just buy these as an ornamental olive. 680-111. Now, I think one of the most beautiful sights in springtime has got to be the cherry blossom, and this is one of the most popular cherry blossoms ever, and it's called the Cherry Prunus Kanzan, and it is magical. This gets covered and smothered in double blossoms that look delightful. And what is nice, that often the blossom comes out just before the leaves, but when the leaves start to come out, they're a lovely kind of coppery colour as well. It doesn't produce cherries. This is purely ornamental, but it is one of the most beautiful, beautiful blossom trees ever. It's a stunner, it's a showstopper. You can buy it right now as a bare root, and it is half price today, $14.99. Very easy to grow that. They're really easy, and there is a little video on our website as well. Then also on the show today, we have got this. And it is our lovely Raspberry Autumn Bliss. Now I'll be honest, the 5 have sold out, but there's a 10-pack available. So just go on our website and type in Autumn Bliss, you'll find the 10-pack. But this is a really good variety of raspberry in terms of ease of growing, because it always fruits and flowers on the new growth. So all you need to do at the end of the season, when you've got all of those delicious raspberries, chop it right back, and then all of the new shoots that appear will produce raspberries the following year. Likes a sunny spot, I mean, pretty much all soft fruit, likes full sun, nice well-drained soil. You get all of those, say 5 canes, but which have sold out, so I should say, but we have got the 10 canes available, and so just go on our website and you will find those. And if you are trying to get free delivery on your order, don't forget, all you need to do is spend over £40. One of the easiest ways of doing that is to buy our premium professional compost. Now you get 100 litres, that's 2 50-litre bags, saving $17.99 today. And in a nutshell, this is the compost that we use on the nursery. So it's a professional premium compost. I use it for pretty much everything. This is the pub garden that I look after. I also use obviously my own garden, my mum's garden. And you've got composted wood fibre in here, 50% composted wood fibre. You've got different types of peat. You've got a wetting agent, which allows the compost to rehydrate very quickly. You've got slow release fertiliser. You've got a pH buffer, so it's a perfect pH for virtually every single plant out there. But it really is wonderful at giving your plants the best life, producing great roots and shoots and flowers and fruits. So really looking after every single part of every type of plant. 100-125, and say suitable for everything with the exception of acid-loving plants. It's just a few of those, but generally speaking, yes, I use that for everything in my garden. 100-125. And you will get, by the way, if you're a club member, you do get your 10% off, of course, bringing the price down to $22.48. Then we also have got really, really nice bark for you, which is our ornamental spruce bark mulch. This looks lovely, actually. Very attractive, but it has numerous uses. So it will suppress weeds. It will add that extra bit of warmth for any plants that are a little bit on the tender side. I mean, a lot of you might have, say, left your dahlias in the ground. this year, and hoping that it'll survive the winter. Maybe you've got some half-hardy perennials that again, will only survive if it's relatively warm in the winter. So this gives that extra protection, provides extra warmth, suppresses weeds. Great in terms of retaining moisture in the summertime as well. Makes it a lot easier to walk over your beds and borders with this because unlike my borders today, a lot of them were just so wet and soaking, and if I'd have gone anywhere near them, I'd have ended up with mud everywhere. But when you've got it's like bark mulch like this, it makes it a lot easier to walk in those areas. Also great for children's play areas as well. So many uses, and it looks lovely. Great as a top dressing for, of course, your pots and your plants and your beds and borders. 100-061. Right, we are back with our Bex, and we've got a couple of really great bargains now, haven't we?
We really have. And do you know what? I was just thinking about this because we've got a hydrangea magical Matterhorn coming up, okay? And I love this, and I've just had a thought.
Go on,
okay,
Bex.
so this is the great thing about this is, first of all, it's a hydrangea. Woo, we love hydrangeas.
We do. It's true.
The UK weather is really suited to hydrangeas, but this is a nice compact one. So this is only ever going to get to about 80 centimetres height and spread here, so about 3 feet height and spread. Now I was thinking, great for borders, but because it's nice and compact, great for pots. However, hydrangeas in pots can be a bit of a nightmare because obviously they like moisture, they don't want to dry out.
I know where you're going.
But I was just thinking about this one in particular, because this is a nice deep pot. Actually, this would work really nicely for that because there's lots of compost in here.
So a lot less likely to dry out.
A lot less likely to dry out. So if you wanted a hydrangea, but you don't have the space, you don't have a big garden, or you don't have any space in your borders, and you like the idea of this and you want to grow it in a pot, I'm going to recommend our Somerville pots here because they're nice and deep. It's a big pot, so it's still going to get to a decent size.
And I know, at the moment you think, oh, that looks far too small.
I know, it looks weird now, but it
won't. These are actually quite fast growing. This hydrangea will be at full size within about 3 years or so.
Yeah.
But you're right, because I had a hydrangea in a small pot and it just dried out all the time and it hates that.
Yeah, and it's a nightmare. If you go away for a couple of days in the summer, that's going to be horrendous.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, because it's that bit deeper... I mean, I would definitely fill it with compost. You know how some people, when they've got a deep pot, they'll...
Put lots of rubble in the bottom.
Yeah, exactly. I'd still put some drainage in the bottom, but I would really fill it with compost so you can keep that moisture in there. But what you're not compromising on here is the size of the flowers, OK? So a compact plant, but still absolutely beautiful, full-size panicles of flowers you're going to get on here.
And the colour of these is amazing.
It.
So it's like I was saying like a vintage white, but there's a little bit of green in there. I've seen like a little bit of pink as well sometimes.
Yeah. It's a stunning one, honestly.
No, yes, and Martin said the man of doilies. No, I get that, but you're getting hundreds of flowers on each of these beautiful tall stems.
And it's repeat flowering as well, right in the height of summer, June, July, August time, you'll get loads and loads of flowers on here.
And I always think with hydrangeas, they make the most amazing cut flowers as well.
They do, don't they?
They really do.
Absolutely
Top
beautiful.
florists, they'll sell cut hydrangeas.
They last quite a long time, don't they, as cut flowers too?
They do.
Yeah.
But they're very expensive to buy as a cut flower.
I like leaving them. I mean, the thing is with this, you probably have enough, once this gets established, to be able to cut some to have in the house, as well as having the beauty left on the plant outside. You can even dry them as well, can't you?
Yeah.
They look
great, actually. And what I will say is, if we were selling this, I'm just being really honest with you, if we were selling this in summer, covered in flowers, or if you saw it in a garden centre, covered in flowers, you could easily be paying £30 plus.
Yeah.
To buy it now, it doesn't look its best right now. This is clever shopping today, because this is already well established, but obviously it's winter, it's lost its leaves.
Multi-branched though.
Yeah,
Look how many. That's going to be a really nice growth you get from that.
That will produce many flowers next summer.
Yeah. For sure.
It will. I mean, obviously, it'll produce even more in year 2, year 3, but that will look really good even next year.
In our compost as well, by the way.
I know Elaine, one of our regulars, she bought 5 of these, didn't she?
Yeah, and it's sensible, and this is, I know you've talked about Peter, our head gardener, his garden, and he's got hydrangeas, and then he's got his hardy geraniums underneath, and I'm definitely going to do it. When I'm planning the next garden, my imaginary next garden, as we all do.
We do, don't we?
That's exactly what I'll be doing. I just think it's really suited to our British weather, so different varieties of hydrangea, different varieties of hardy geranium, mix them in some irrigaron at the bottom there, and that's going to be the perfect kind of quintessential British flower display.
And a lot of people do ask about when to prune hydrangeas. This one does
generally
flower
quite easy.
on its new growth, but we've sort of changed our winter gardens, and we always leave the dead flowers on now. They look great, they really do.
I used to tidy up. I used to say I'm putting my garden to bed for winter, and I used to go around and prune and trim and make it all look nice and neat, but I just don't bother anymore. I quite like the shabbiness throughout the winter. It provides interest, it provides a home for, you know, bugs and things. It helps to protect the plants, even winter hardy plants. It does help to protect them.
Like keeping the old flowers on here will protect the new shoots. So just take the dead flowers off in springtime, and this will really thrive back every single year. And they like the key with, as we've been saying, hydrangeas just like moist soil. They hate to dry out. That's the one thing, they just hate drying out. So do bear that in mind. And I always think part shade is good for them. Although they'll tolerate full sun, the trouble is if they're in a really sunny area, they dry out.
Yeah.
So, you know, ideally kind of part shade. I've got some of mine in fairly low light levels actually, and they still do okay. Yeah, they do. Yeah. But that is an absolute beauty, and you're saving £20 today. 5 to 1, 551. I keep thinking of making a whole area in my garden like a hydrangea bed, because it's really on trend at the moment. I just haven't got round to it yet. But I know Elaine bought 5 of those. Right, if you're looking for value today, this winter hardy shrub collection is ridiculous. Oh my word, sorry, it's even lower than I thought, Bex.
Oh, £17.99. £16.19 if you're in the club.
That is
so
£1.50. Yeah.
Just over each.
Or £1.35 if you're in the club.
All right.
I mean, seriously.
They're all bare roots, okay, so they're going to come like this, and they're all wrapped together. But you can see that they are all individually labelled, so you will know what you are getting. The pictures here are to give you, excuse me, to give you an idea of what you might be receiving. And there's some amazing varieties in there. I can spot the dogwood straight away. That bright red one there, that is the dogwood.
Now, you've also got things like forsythia, you've got syringa in there as well. You've got the Philadelphus. A huge selection of fully winter hardy shrubs, and each one of these tried, tested. All of them will give you great flowers at different times of the year. You've got the berberis, of course, as well. So an absolutely beautiful collection, and all of the instructions are all individually labelled. So they all come with full instructions in terms of where to plant them, but it is about value.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you were to buy one of these, like the Philadelphus, if you're going to buy, say, a lilac, in peak season, you could be paying $17.99 for just one single shrub. But we're going to give you 12 of them. And they're all proven winners, they're all winter hardy. They're all ideal for UK gardens, but to buy them right now, as a bare root, is going to save you a fortune. And I will be honest, they don't look a lot when you get them.
No,
but imagine your lilac in springtime.
I love that idea. You know, the fact that you're turning something that doesn't look great right now into something absolutely beautiful just by planting it in your garden. I mean, berberis, hypericum, syringa, deutzia, you've got potentilla, forsythia, tamarix tetandra. I love that one. The Philadelphus.
That's a really unusual
one. The cornus. I mean, there's some beautiful ones in there. And as Shaun's been saying, this is a collection that's been specifically put together in order to give you sort of really long season of interest here. So really, you know, different flowers, different foliage, different colours, different heights, different sizes, and they are all labelled so you know exactly what you need to do with them.
Do you know, just thinking back, looking at the different varieties, they will vary slightly. But we've sold all of these individually.
Yes.
Like the hypericum, one of Bex's favourites, we normally sell that around about £15, don't we? And that is just one of the 12 that you're getting. Now, when they arrive, again, you're not going to go, wow, look at all that colour.
Look at that.
Oh, my word. But actually, when you unwrap these and you look at each individual shrub, they're all really healthy. They've all got really good root systems. Yeah. If you want to do the scratch test, because I know sometimes you look at, oh, it's a twig. If you want to do the scratch test, just scratch it. You see they're all green inside. They're raring to go. But it is about really getting outstanding value. And we sell all of these shrubs individually for, I would say, between, depending on the size of them, but between, I would say, £8 to maybe £15. Maybe, actually, some of them a bit more, actually.
Maybe, yeah.
But you're getting them at £1.50 each. So if you've got maybe, say, a new garden, if you've got maybe children setting up home for the first time, if you're maybe in the process of changing your garden and you're putting in more shrubs that are low maintenance, that would be a brilliant collection. And so much colour, isn't there?
So much colour, definitely. And as we said, bare roots, it's the gardener's secret. It's the way of getting the most for your money, basically. By buying a bare root, you're not paying for the compost, you're not paying for the pots, you're not paying for the time that it's taken one of our expert growers to sort of grow it on and everything. And that's where you get the saving as a gardener, by shopping with us, first of all, at YGTV, but also by buying those bare roots.
And all you need to do you know, I've just done, it's a bit naughty, but just share. I know, say, they look like twigs, but I've just broken into that one, like,
a little bit of green growth in there.
It'll be fine.
It'll recover.
It really will. But yeah, all of those have just been in the cold store. They are raring to go. A stunning collection. And so many of those are award winners, gardeners' favourites. And just quickly, we do need to remind you of our planters, because we have got some amazing offers. The Somervilles, you get 2 of these for £22.99, working out £11.50 each. That.
Yeah, and I just think that price is incredible. First of all, they are beautiful pots. They really are gorgeous, gorgeous pots. I would be so happy to buy these. You walk into a garden centre and they're there, and it had I don't know, clearance, £10.50 or £11.50 each. I would be. Yeah, I'll have 6 of those, please. Yeah. I'll find something to put in them.
To be honest, if I saw one at full price for £30 in the garden centre, I'd still think, what a lovely pot.
Lovely. Very neutral colour on here, which means that it's going to fit into all your garden schemes. It's going to make the plant stand out. It's got a 13-inch diameter, and it's a really decent depth on here. So, I mean, I know I highlighted it with the hydrangea, but yeah, if you wanted to get these to plant hydrangea in, that would mean that it's going to keep that moisture in there. If you want to plant standards in there, that would be amazing, because they've got that lovely depth, which means that hopefully in these winds they're not going to blow over as often.
It's a good point.
But they're plastic, which means they are easier to carry around. They're lightweight, but also, you know, if you drop and break, you're not going to crack and break them.
I think they are virtually indestructible. I can't see how you break one of those, can you?
I mean, if you put it on its side and jumped on it, maybe. But, you know, as far as general gardening use around, I think you'd struggle, definitely. Strong, sturdy, but lightweight.
I'd even go, honestly, I just don't see how you could actually break one of those. And they're going to stay looking good for many years.
The price now.
I kind of want to see you stand on it.
It's like a challenge to me when you say things like that. I could do it.
So it's got this image of you standing on it. But they're really solid, really well made, look beautiful. Love the fact that they're neutral. You've got that sort of like abstract flower on either side. And as we said, they don't come with drainage holes, these, but they have got the sort of like pre-drilled areas. And the reason we've done that is so you can actually use these for indoor plants as well. If you've got maybe something like a big citrus tree, we've sold quite a few of those recently.
I like that option.
Yeah.
I really like that option. You can choose what you want to use it for. If you've got some indoor plants, you can use it for that, and that's what I'm going to use the next ones for, actually.
Do you know what I'm thinking as well? These would be great for climbers, because, you know...
Oh, yeah.
You could put a trellis in there and all sorts.
Yeah, definitely.
They're really good. Anyway, got those. And the other option, which we both really like...
Yeah, so this is more my size for the plants that I've got in my home, which is what I'm thinking about getting these for, because, again, they don't have the drainage holes already pre-drilled. So if you want to use them indoors, you can. The stone effect you've got in there, and it's got real texture to it as well, hasn't it? It looks kind of...
hand-carved, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, definitely. So that could be used indoors for me, but it's, again, that plastic, lightweight, UV stabilised. But if you want to drill some holes in the bottom there, very, very easy for you to do, and you can then use them for the outdoor pots. And the fact that it's a buy one, get one free is awesome on this one. So I can get 2 of these for the price of one. For club members, that breaks down to £8.10 each, which is a fantastic price, isn't it?
And don't forget to get all of the offers that are available today. All you need to do is use that very special offer code YGTV 4924. Don't forget, Bex and I would love to hear from you. So if you're watching this Sunday morning, we're live until 12:30. We would absolutely love to hear from you. So any questions, any comments, then do message us either on YouTube or on ygtv@yougarden.com. Right, we've got a really special area coming up right now.
Grimmy, you clever man.
What's Grimmy done?
He said, with the Somerville...
Yeah?
You could drill... Sorry, Martin.
Sorry, go on, what's Grimmy said?
He said, with the Somerville pot, you could drill drainage on the side a few centimetres from the bottom, and then there is a water reservoir at the bottom for the hydrangea.
That's a good idea.
Very good, Grimmy, absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Grimmy.
Neil just had confirmation that my pet-friendly houseplants collection and pots order is ready for dispatch.
Yay!
And Alwyn, I should have said this to you earlier. Sorry, she said she was watching. She actually sat in bed watching, resting my arthritis hip, which is very painful yesterday and today. Sorry about that.
Do you know what?
And then
wet
she messages,
weather and cold weather's no
I know,
good.
it's no good,
Yeah.
is it? Then she messaged saying, I'm going. I'll watch later. I'll watch back later. See you all Thursday. Bye for now. She's
Thank
probably
you.
gone already, but she'll be watching back later. So,
All right, so
goodbye,
thank you,
Alwyn.
Alwyn. And Neil,
Right, sorry, Martin.
well done for getting the pet-friendly collection. Rocky will be fine with those.
Yeah,
It is
definitely.
Rocky, isn't it?
It is Rocky.
It is Rocky, yeah.
It is Rocky. Right, we're
right.
going to do bulbs next for you.
So I'm very excited about this because we've actually chosen some kind of exotic ones.
Yeah.
Like, we're not looking at just average. I'm not going to say boring bulbs, but you know. But you know, we just wanted to mix it up a bit. So I call this our exotic collection of bulbs, something a little bit different with incredible breeding. And it is a 3 for 2 offer. So basically you need to put 3 in your basket, any 3, so 3 of the same or 3 different ones. And we will give you, the price for just 2 of them. Right, we're going to start with the Armorist, which is an indoor bulb. All the others are outdoors. This is an indoor bulb.
Yes.
And
you can take it outside in the summer months.
yeah.
But it is indoor. And they're huge.
They're big. I think we say
really
26
big.
centimetres, don't we?
I think it's... it was the size of the bulb, wasn't it? Was it a 20?
Yeah, so 24, 26.
24,
They're big.
26. They're really, really big. And the thing is, with Amaryllis Red Lion, what you get are really tall flowers. I mean, these can get 60... 70 centimetres in height. And if you're lucky, you can get multiple flowers as well, can't you? I think you're probably, looking at these bulbs, you're probably going to get 2 flower stems coming off these.
I always think with the larger bulb, you're far more likely.
Far more likely, absolutely.
Now, all you need to do is plant it when it arrives next week, and it normally flowers about 8 weeks after planting. And there are a few rules with Amaryllis. So, first of all, you don't want to cover the bulb completely. You always leave the top third.
Shallow plants.
Yes. Keep it above the compost.
Indeed.
And when it comes to watering, don't water directly on the bulb, just water around it. That is pretty much it. Nice bright position, nice warm room. But I always find it exciting because I want to open one, Bex.
Do it.
I'm going to try. I need to find one that's got a shoot coming. Sorry, I'm just looking here.
Gets excited by the bulbs, don't you?
Oh, I better not open them. I better not.
No, we can put them back into. Somebody can actually buy them. But put them in a windowsill. Put them in a nice sunny spot, you know, and water. Just keep them consistently moist. Don't overwater. Just nice and consistently moist. And once you plant these, you'll get the flowers about 8 weeks after planting, and you can get them to come back, you know, in later years. The bulb will just keep getting bigger, and that means that the displays you get will keep getting better as well.
And what I love, if you planted it, say, in the next week or so, you're going to get the flowers maybe, February?
Yeah.
And that is such a dull month sometimes. So, you know what I mean? So when you've got this really exotic plant growing...
It could be a Valentine flower, though, because that's perfect planting for Valentine's.
It probably would be.
Probably be very good.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, really good.
But the price is amazing. Bearing in mind, it's a 3 for 2 offer. That is an extra large bulb, and as Bex was saying, that means you're far more likely not to just get 1 stem, but 2 stems. And each stem can have 4 to 6 flowers on it. But they are amazing. We always grew them as children, and I loved it. And every year I'd like to say, how high is it going to get, Mummy? And some years we get some really tall ones. Some years we'd only get 1 shoot, but sometimes 2 shoots. And what happens is that you get a tall stem, and it looks like 1 bud, but then that big bud opens and it reveals all the smaller buds. So you never quite know how many flowers you're going to get until it opens. And I used to count them as a kid, and sometimes it'd be like 3 and sometimes it'd be 6. If you do get this to reflower for many years, you can sometimes get several. I have friends that have had like 3 or 4 stems of flowers.
Amazing.
Yeah. But that's really good. Right, this one's a bit exotic, Bex, isn't it?
Very, very exotic, yes. Crown Imperial, the Fritillaria. Now, this one's definitely one for your borders where you're going to get height out of this. I mean, this can get to 4 feet in height, and I think this is... when you see the flowers on here, this is really quite exotic looking, isn't it? These sort of hanging... I mean, look at the colours. orange flowers, but then look at the colours around the top of there, and that tuft of foliage that looks like the crown at the top there. Highly unusual, very unique, very beautiful. Winter hardy.
That surprises me.
It does feel strange because it feels like such an exotic bulb, but yeah, it's winter hardy. It does have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so that's a brilliant one, a nice, easy. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's easy, but it does mean it's garden worthy for sure. And I just think it's a talking point. It doesn't like to be sat in wet, though. I'm going to say that. Mine did not. I planted it in my clay soil, and that was stupid. It wants to be in free-draining soil. It didn't survive my clay soil.
We always learn from our mistakes as gardeners, don't we? We all make them.
So if I plant this again, it will not be going into the ground because it can't cope with my ground. It can't cope with my clay soil. It will go into a pot. But if you've got nice free-draining soil in your borders, fine, go and plant it.
And I think for any of our gardening friends out there, if you've got maybe an area in your garden where you've got, like I have, lots of palms and exotic looking things. I've got like a tropical area in my garden. That in pots is going to look amazing, isn't it? You imagine, because you get all of that height. I can't believe I've never grown that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you need to. I tried, but I messed it up. They come in bags like this, by the way, so you're going to get 2 of them.
That's good.
If you want to get 6 of them, you can do that on the 3 for 2 mix and match. So put 3 bags into your basket, enter the code, one of them will pop up as free. But the point is it's a mix and match, so you can actually choose whichever ones you want to choose from there. But they're nice big bulbs, you can see, look.
You'd be pleased to know, Fritello, you are on my list today. I'm going to give them a go, Bex.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I know where exactly where I'm going to put them. So I've got an area that's got olives and palms, cocosnia, things like that. So it's like quite a tropical looking area. I think it look amazing.
That look good, yeah.
Yeah. How did I buy that? I don't know. I might just go for 3 packs of those. Go for 6, and put them in 2 pots of 3.
That sounds perfect.
Right now, did you know I've got A-level art, Bex?
Have you?
Yeah, you look at that surprise. Have you? I have got A-level art.
Have you?
Yeah, not particularly high grade, but
I can't remember. I did A-level art.
Oh, you failed yours. Remember, Bex?
I can't remember. I didn't do very good at A-levels.
I didn't do that well either. I passed. I scraped.
I scraped.
Yes.
Scraped through enough to get to university.
So I was no Rembrandt. However, see where we're going here? We have got some tulips that they do almost look hand painted, don't they?
I know, they do.
Far better than we'd have painted them, by the looks of things.
But these are the lovely hot colours.
Oh.
So you are going to get a really gorgeous colour mix included in here, first of all.
Stunning.
But there's some really bright hot colours included in there. The oranges, the reds, the really fiery colours. And I like those because they are focal points in the garden. You know, they really do draw your eye and draw your attention. You've got some of the classic shaped tulip in there as well. And these are the nice tall ones. So these are going to get to about 50 centimetres in height. And this was an incredibly popular style of tulip back in the day, back in the tulipomania, when, you know, certain bulbs would actually cost more than the price of a house. These were some of the really, really popular ones back then. The streaked petal is the result of incredibly clever breeding, and I love what the breeders can do with these things. It's amazing.
I have to say, tulips, I mean, when I grew up, you know, tulips, you had your traditional colours. Nowadays, so many exotic, wonderful varieties. And I was just thinking when Bex was describing these, I can't wait for spring. I'm looking forward to Christmas. But yeah, it's the 9th of December. We are nearly at the shortest day of the year.
Yeah, not far away.
And then we start, then I love it when I can actually say, oh, the days are getting longer. Yeah. So a couple of weeks' time, we would say, oh, the days are getting longer.
That comes around quite quick, actually,
doesn't
it? It does.
And look, we are excited about Christmas. I can't wait for Christmas, New Year. But the idea of just thinking about spring and imagine these tulips coming up in April time, those glorious hot colours. It's exciting, isn't it?
Really
and it's a great time to plant bulbs still, by the way, particularly tulips. We often say, don't even plant tulips till November. You've got to wait till the ground cools. So actually, December is a great month for tulip planting.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So those are in the mix and match 3 for 2, and we have got some more beauties. And I didn't get this exact variety, but I bought the parrot tulips.
Yes.
I would say these are akin to those.
Yeah,
aren't
these
they?
are a parrot tulip style for sure. Absolutely, you've got the lovely sort of feathery petals that come with the parrot tulips. I mean, they are incredible, aren't they? I would definitely recommend planting parrot tulips in a slightly more sheltered location than maybe the classic style of tulip. They're just a little bit more susceptible to wind damage, but they are nice and tall. Again, these are going to get to about 50-60 centimetres in height, and the flame kind of streaks and the colours and that you get on the petals.
I mean, don't you love that? The green, to me.
I know, it's amazing.
That's the bit that surprises me.
And you've got those feathery tips to the edges of the petals as well.
They're so kind of three-dimensional, full, aren't they?
Very flamboyant, definitely.
I mean, who would not want to have those in their garden?
I want them in my garden.
Yeah.
I did the same as you. I got the parrot tulips.
Yeah.
Not this particular variety.
But the same sort of structure.
Exactly the same sort of structure, for sure.
So that's the Stella Rheinveld, and that is 602.06. And then our final, see, there's nothing boring in this section, we told you.
Nothing boring at all.
No, because we have got the double pinks as well.
And these are the peony style tulips that you've got here. Another one, actually, that, again, I'm going to say plant it in a slightly more sheltered location because it's got those lovely blousy peony type blooms on here. But yeah, again, getting to about 50 centimetres in height. Again, winter hardy, plant it in a full sun position, use them as cut flowers, allow that foliage to die back down naturally, and you will get those displays, for several years. These will come back for you. They are perennials. They're beautiful, though, these, and I love the colour. It's not just about it looking like that peony and being blousy and beautiful. It's the colour that you've got on this beautiful pink.
Now, promise us today, if you haven't really planted many bulbs and you just haven't got round to it, or maybe you have planted some, there's always room for some more, and it is so worth that little bit of planting, a few minutes of your time, because when it comes to spring, the rewards are absolutely huge. And these are stunning varieties. They're not our everyday tulips. We do some sort of like classic mixes. These are the really unusual, exotic ones that will just really take your breath away. Stunning. Oh, there's a couple more in the deal, by the way. There's, if you're looking for something a bit more traditional, we have got the tete-a-tetes. That's also part of the offer. And I've actually planted hundreds of bags.
I've still got a couple of daffodil bags to plant out. I must get them out next week.
So I think I bought 6 bags of these, and I've done most of the pub garden and most of my mum's garden. So it's a mixture. You get 35 of the early red tulips and then 35 of the tete-a-tetes. So these are miniature. They're a lot smaller than your traditional tulips and daffodils, so they really lend themselves to maybe pots and containers and hanging baskets, smaller gardens, and they are an early flower, so they should, we're talking about those tulips being one of the very, very first tulips to flower in your garden. But yeah, I've gone a red tulip, and Narcissa tete-a-tete. I've gone mad with those. And what's the other one? Oh, there's the King Alfred, isn't they?
King Alfred,
yes.
Yeah, that's the one. The big tall daffodils.
Yes. So if you don't want the little ones, we have got the big King Alfred, which is 600, 431, 20 bulbs, all in that full block yellow. So an absolute classic at £9.99. Of course, if you are a club member, you will get those at £8.99. But if you have just joined us, a very, very good morning. You're with myself, Shaun Ryan, and the lovely Bex Edwards. Martin's here. Stu's, I don't know what he's doing today. He's moonlighting, isn't he?
He's moonlighting,
yeah. He's moonlighting.
He's doing a bit of moonlighting,
yes.
Stu.
So you've got myself, Shaun, and Bex, and Martin today. We've got a lovely selection of products. But if you want to be part of the show, don't forget you can comment on YouTube and Facebook. You can message us. You can email ygtv@yougarden.com. And do send us some pictures. We don't have many pictures today, have we?
No, do you know what? I haven't checked the emails for a little while. It was all filled with everybody joining our prize draw, which is brilliant. If you want to win our standard holly bushes, holly trees that we've got here, and the pots for you to plant them in, then you can do that by emailing us at ygtv@yougarden.com. That's our regular email address. All you have to do is put holly as the message title, the subject line. You don't have to write anything else, just put holly in there. There's loads of them in here.
And there's a separate competition. We've got 4 sets of those to give away. So there's a separate competition on our Facebook and our Instagram and on TikTok as well. So if you just go to Instagram, type in YouGarden, we'll come up there. That's one of our recent posts. All the details how to enter, the same on Facebook and TikTok.
Okay, so I've got a few, and I'm going to show this one because Margaret Bless you, thank you. I've got a new little puppy, which I need to share videos of.
He's gorgeous.
But Margaret has sent this in, says, "Hi guys, this is my 15-week-old kitten helping me to pick plants for the garden. He's not been outside in the garden yet, but watches my other cat Odin walking around it. I also have roses in my garden.
What's still flowering?
And I've been watching my Arthur Bell, thinks that what it's called... Yes, it will be that one, the yellow rose. And I can't believe the amount of buds and flowers on it. It makes me smile when I look out the window. I'm in Edinburgh at Margaret Bennett. And there is the kitten. Look!
Oh!
Look! Oh, little baby.
Margaret, you know I'm a cat lover. I love dogs as well. But
little baby watching the telly.
Hey!
How cute is that?
Hey, Margaret, there are some, I don't know if you've ever done it, Margaret, but there are some cat films you can get on YouTube as well, like birds and mice and stuff. And mine just love to sit at the TV. If I can't let my cat's an outdoor cat, but if ever he can't go out because of the weather and stuff, I just put him in front of the telly with a mouse video. And he goes, I just like sitting like this. So thank you, Margaret, for that.
J. Kroll.
What about regulars as well?
Indeed. So free bag and use this weekend, out foraging for Christmas garland foliage. So very much like what we would suggest using this bag for, because you could just use it as a general garden shrug when you go around doing your trimmings. But he's been getting all his Christmas garland foliage together in it.
JC Kroll, was
it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, you've foraged some nice stuff there.
Very nice foliage, definitely. Love that.
One of my friends, Lynn, messaged me on Friday. I was in London actually on Friday, but she messaged me and said, "Do you mind if I come to your garden, just forage and get some eucalyptus and some of the holly?" But of course not. And
another one from J. Kroll saying, multitasking, you live outside whilst getting on with the garland construction. So just as they follow on, look, got his iPad going.
That's how to do it.
Got all the foliage there, cup of coffee by the looks of things. That looks like a perfect Sunday morning. It does. I want to see the finished result now, don't you? Yeah. So we need to see. Make sure you send us a picture of the final result, please. And even if you send it, when we're not live, you can send it tomorrow or Tuesday, whatever. We'll still share it on next Thursday's show. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So everybody's sending emails for the holly. So do get in the draw. Yes. Right. We have got now one of our best-selling mini orchards, and the reason it's the best-selling one is because of the varieties. These are the nation's favourites. So you've got Braeburn apple, you've got Conference pear, and you've got Victoria plum. I mean, I'm not being funny. I can't imagine anybody really watching right now going, "Oh, I've never heard of Braeburn." Yeah. What's a Victoria plum? I don't know what you're talking about. Conference pear? Oh, no, I don't fancy that. Never heard of it. So no, these are, jokes apart, these are the nation's favourite fruits. These are the really popular ones in the supermarket because of their taste and their texture. But imagine having 3 fruit trees that will produce those 3 favourites for many, many decades to come that won't grow too big. Yes, this is the important thing, because unfortunately, modern gardens, we just don't have as much space as we used to have. I think about my mum's garden, my nan's garden. They had such big gardens, and we just don't have those spaces anymore. So if you are like me and you've got a regular sized garden or a smaller space where you've just got a patio or something, you can actually grow these in those spaces. You can grow these in our, thank you, Shaun, heavy duty pots. These are the perfect thing to put these in. And we are doing a pack of 3 of these on the show today. So perfect for your 3 bare root trees. It's like we planned it there. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. Pack of 3. Somebody thought about it. No, but it's true. But I know where, I'll be honest, I have grown these in pots for many years. Sometimes I have ended up putting them in the garden, but that would be happening there for years, wouldn't it? Really happy in here, yeah, absolutely. So it just makes it really accessible for all of us, and we talk about gardening for everyone, and it's not just for people who've got an allotment or massive, great big gardens and loads of space. We are actually thinking about all types of garden. So even if you have got an allotment and loads of space, you can grow these. Yeah. So these are only going to grow. But if you've got small space, you can as well. A couple of metres. A couple of metres. Yeah, that's 2.5 maybe maximum. And they are, as a bare root, they're actually really great quality. And when I say that, they're multi-branched, you can see here. So sometimes you buy bare root in the supermarket, and the supermarket do sell bare root fruit trees, but a lot of them, I won't mention which supermarket, but I've got one near me. And outside in sort of like springtime, it often has bare root trees in packets. Yeah. But they're what I call whips.
So they're just literally a single stem. And also, it's varieties I've never heard of.
Never heard of. It's going to take ages to get any fruits from them. You know, with these, because they are multi-branched, hopefully you're going to get fruit much earlier on. You know, maybe you'll get some in the first year, but you are planting for the future. So give it a couple of years to get established, and you will be picking fruits from here for decades.
I mean, imagine, so all of these are great eaters, but also great for cooking. So
Yeah,
that
definitely.
Victoria plum, I'm thinking plum jam, plum crumble.
Stop it, I'm hungry.
And then
Is it lunchtime
Braeburn
yet?
apple. I love the sweetness and the sharpness of a Braeburn, don't you?
Yeah, and that's why it's the most popular eating
Yeah.
apple. And the saving here today, by the way, have you seen that? It's $24.97 for all three here. You are actually saving £35, and it's the perfect time to plant bare roots. We're in bare root planting season. Please don't think we're in winter. There's nothing to do. There really is. Between about sort of October and March, April time, that is bare root planting season. So you can crack on with this, no problem.
Now, I did work out a little way of getting your mini orchard all planted and saving money, because your free gift today is actually, there's the one down there, Bex, thanks, is your grow bag. Now, each one of these trees would be, and again, in my last house, I had 3 of these grown in grow bags on the drive, not on the middle of the drive, but the side of the drive. And they were really, really happy there. So what I'm going to suggest is, if you're thinking, right, I'm going to grow them in the grow bags, because these are even bigger than the heavy-duty pots. Buy the orchard in one transaction and you'll get a free grow bag.
Yeah.
And then what you could do, because you're going to need at least 100 litres of compost.
Yeah.
So what you could do is you're going to need 2 lots of compost actually. You're going to need 150 litres about.
Yeah.
So buy 2 lots of compost in separate orders.
2 separate orders.
And then you get 2 extra grow bags with that. So that would give you everything you need. You'd get 200 litres of compost, which will give you more than enough with some left over, 3 fruit trees and 3 grow bags.
There you go.
That'd be my...
Good to go.
Yeah, that'd be my personal suggestion.
Absolutely.
And if you're not a club member, join the club, you get 10% off all of that. I'm trying to work... So anyway, that's a little idea for you. But we are always very honoured when our head gardener joins us, because he's called Peter McDermott, and he's a great guy, but he's really knowledgeable, isn't he?
He is.
He is.
Been doing it a while.
I mean, he's taught Bex and I an awful lot over many, many years, and we have got a little clip of him with myself just talking through this mini orchard, just giving you a few little extra hints and tips. And Bex will be back. Bex and I will be back rather with.
Yeah, where are you going?
Yeah, Bex will be back. I'm just going now. I'm going back. Actually, I was going to say I'm going to tidy up the garden, because it did look a bit of a mess this morning. But I'm going to wait till tomorrow, because the weather's better tomorrow.
Yeah, weather's better tomorrow. Might as well just let the wind do its thing.
Yes, and we'll sort it all out tomorrow. But here's Peter to tell you more.
Plant a tree and improve the environment is the big message here. But these are fabulous, because not only are you planting 3 trees in this case, but they're productive trees. So if you're going to plant a tree, is a great thing to do. Great for the environment, great for the world. Plant a fruit tree, great for your pocket, great for your health, because you're now going to save money. These will produce tens and tens of pounds of fruit in weight every year from the 3rd year onwards.
Wow.
A mature apple Braeburn could produce between 40 and 50 pounds of fruit in weight per season once it's fully mature. A Victoria plum, that picture of the Victoria plum you can see there.
Yeah.
I was actually, I don't think I took the picture, but I was there the day the pictures and the videos were taken. That was just in Cambridge, just north of Cambridge, in a little village called Cottenham. And they were astonishing, but you see the branches that are almost like cascading down there. That's the weight of the fruit doing that to them. And you, again, can pick 30, 40 or even 50 pounds of fruit from a mature Victoria plum. And then conference pear, which is the 3rd of these, you've got Braeburn apple, you've got conference pear, then you've got the beautiful, beautiful plum, but you've got all 3 of those included. But the pear is divine. That was a friend's hand, but in my garden. So that is a tree in my garden. God. Massively productive, and they'll live for 40, 50, even 60 years. This is a commercial grade fruit tree that's on a dwarfing rootstock. So you could grow this in a smaller garden. This is going to get to a couple of metres tall. You can prune it really easily. And the rule of thumb with pruning fruit trees is you summer prune for fruit. Who'd have thought you summer prune fruit trees? The professionals do. Summer prune for fruit, winter prune for growth. So if you want your tree to stop growing vigorously, and it's a fruit tree, prune it in the summer. If you want it to grow and grow in size and stature, winter pruning is the answer. So it couldn't be easier, but that's the rule of thumb. And this is Braeburn apple. So this will live for the next 50 or so years. Plant it in a sunny position. Plant it somewhere where there's plenty of airflow. The rule of thumb I always say is if you stand like this, go over there. Go on,
like
put
this,
your arm
yeah,
out like that. Okay, so I'm one tree. That's the closest the next tree needs to be. So I always think about 2 metres in a garden setting, and that allows plenty of light, plenty of airflow, plenty of sunshine. And you could plant these in a row, in a sunny position, all 3 of them together, about 6 foot or 2 metres apart. Okay. You could live basically in a block of flats.
Yeah, you could, couldn't you?
You could have an external balcony area, and you can still grow your own apples, pears and plums, because the space you need is this. Yeah. And actually, at this time of year, you can put them right together, because they're dormant at this time of year. There are no leaves. It's only really from about March onwards, when they're coming into leaf and they're blossoming, you just need to give them a little bit more, space to get around them and allow the pollinators in. But they are all self-fertile. So all 3 of these varieties will...
Brilliant.
So Braeburn will pollinate itself. Victoria will pollinate itself. Conference will pollinate itself. So you don't need to worry about, do I need a second apple? No, you don't. Do you need a second pear? No, you don't. Do you need a second plum? No, you don't. It's all fine. So they're compact. They're professional quality. They're grower quality. They're self-fertile. Great for pots, great for the garden.
And what's the maximum kind of height these are going to grow, Peter?
Well, interestingly, if you grow them in pots, that slightly topiarizes them, slightly dwarfs them, if you like, so it will stop the growth. But left unchecked, they would eventually get to 2 metres, maybe 3 metres eventually. But
that's not huge, though, is
not
it?
really.
No.
But the way to stop that is just take out the leader. So this is the leader. This is known as the leader, this central stem, because what plants know up from down. They know what gravity is. Strange to think that, but they really do. So they have this thing called apical dominance. And apical dominance says there will always be one branch in any tree that is the leader. It's pointing to the sun, pointing to the sky, and opposing gravity. If you just get a pair of secateurs and at 45 degrees just take out the central leader, and then one of these other branches will eventually take over, and in 2 years do it again. And what happens when you take the leader out is you get all of this lovely feathering, all of these lovely side branches, and it's the side branches that give you the biggest crops of fruit.
There's that wonderful head garden, Peter McDermott. What a brilliant mini orchard that is.
It is so good, isn't it?
So good. And our bestseller, 3 of the absolute favourites and ready to plant right now. I'm excited about that one, really am. Right, we have got a prize draw, don't forget.
Yes, so prize draw. This is available for you, YGTV viewers. We've also got 3 more of them we'll go into the details of. But if you would like to be in for a chance of winning a pair of our holly standards that come with the pots for you to plant them up in. We've planted this one up so you can see how this is going to look. All you have to do is email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. I can see loads of emails that are coming in here. You're all entering this right now.
Where it says subject, just put holly. You don't have to write anything, just send us an email just with subject holly. That's it, then you're in the prize draw.
That's it, and you've got till the end of Thursday in order to do that. If you want more chances of winning, go on to Instagram, go on to Facebook, and if you're on TikTok, go on to there as well. Find the YouGarden pages and find the post which highlights the giveaway here. It's normally like, share, comment, that sort of thing, but each place will tell you how to enter on there.
Because we've actually got 4 pairs of these to give away, so you're more than welcome to enter on the 4.
All of them.
Yeah,
do it.
Why not? Increase your chances.
Imagine if you were lucky and you won 2 sets. That'd be so cool, wouldn't it?
It's going to take you a few seconds just to enter, and we've got 4 pairs of those to give away. Just very quickly, do use the offer code today, YGTV4924. That will unlock all the different offers and promotions, and you will get a free heavy-duty bag, a grow bag, with every single order as well. Right.
There it is.
There it is. Very well modelled, Bex.
Thanks.
Yes, but when that's open, they're huge. Yeah,
45 litre.
They're great for, Jay Kroll just said earlier, been foraging, getting like holly and mistletoe and lots of beautiful winter foliage and collecting it all in bags like this.
I like the way you say mistletoe.
What, mistletoe? Why?
I would say mistletoe.
Oh, I said mizzle.
Mistletoe.
Mizzle.
I like it.
Yeah, my northernness. Mistletoe. Do you know, I grew up There's so many words I got wrong as a child, because I always thought a handbag was a ham bag.
A handbag,
as in H-A-M.
Yeah.
So she said to her, Mum, why is it called well, actually, no, I actually thought it was an handbag. That's what Mum called it. Where's my handbag? Where's my handbag? I was like, Mum, why is it called an handbag or a handbag? Do you keep a ham in it? And I honestly thought that. I did as a child. What else did I get wrong? Cranberry. My dad called cranberries granberries.
Right, yeah.
So I thought a cranberry was for years.
You just grew up thinking the same.
Because my dad was always like, "Where's my cranberry? Let's have some cranberry sauce."
There's a beeping somewhere.
So going to see
I
what
think
it
it might
is.
be the alarm.
Is it outside?
I don't think we need to be worried. I think somebody's opened a door, and I think it's the alarm.
This?
Yeah, it's fine.
Are you sure? There you go. I've sorted it, Bex.
Did you press a button, or did it just stop on its own?
No, I just pressed a button.
Did you? Okay, we're fine.
If
We're
in
all
doubt,
good.
just press. Oh, that didn't work, did it?
I think that guy has opened a door somewhere and it beeps in here, and then it stops. Do you remember the guy?
Yeah.
There's someone else on site today. Fingers crossed, it's going to stop very soon.
That's going to annoy us, isn't it? Is that? Can you hear the? Let us know if you can hear the beeping at home in the group chat.
Can. They definitely
can. Yeah.
Martin can hear it. We'll give it a minute and it might disappear. Should we talk about toffee apple tree in the meantime?
You talk about that. I'll talk about.
You see if you can.
Oh, it's gone off.
All right. So this one is the Cercidophyllum japonicum. Oh, I'm so sorry, Martin. Are we going somewhere else? I thought we were doing the toffee apple.
We're going to save the toffee apple tree for later.
We're going to the favourites.
Right, favourites. Come and join us. Now the beeping stopped.
Right.
It has, hasn't it?
Crossed. Hopefully it stopped.
Right, this is the favourites table. We have got a deal of the week for you right now, and it is a fantastic ready-made hanging basket. Why are you laughing?
I just heard Martin go, oh dear, oh dear.
So we've got that coming up. We've got a mini olive. We have got the erigeron. We've got geraniums, and we have got the most stunning iris for you as well. I haven't got this, but I keep looking, thinking I would adore that in my garden.
Oh, yeah, iris are so beautiful. The flowers you get from iris are incredible. They're nice and tall, which is what I really enjoy about iris, actually, because these can get to, well, about 90 centimetres in height, to be honest with you, about between 60 and 90 centimetres. They don't mind a bit of wet either, which I quite like.
It's quite handy in the UK at the moment.
Handy in the UK, handy for my garden. I mean, I still think they're going to prefer a free-draining soil, free-draining wet soil, rather than my thick, heavy clay soil, but I think this is definitely worth giving a go in my garden. 5 bare roots you're going to get here, so a mixture of colours. I think they are some of the most characterful flowers that you can have in your garden.
Yeah, I totally agree. I can see so many what I'd call personalities there.
Yeah.
There's so much expression, isn't there?
Absolutely. And I just love them. They are winter hardy, so they don't really need any extra winter protection. I don't think they're too susceptible to bugs either. Slugs and snails. I don't think they're too fussed about the early growth coming through on these, are they? But yeah, if you want to add a bit of height into your borders, then definitely iris is a good one to plant. And of course, because they're bare roots, you are getting incredible value for money here.
And all the instructions come with them. We were saying you could put them straight in the ground, but if you want to keep your eye on them, you could just start them off in pots. They'll start to, come back to life in the springtime. Then you could transfer them into your beds. And that is 580040. Now, we are so excited about the next collection as well, because over the past few years, we've both fallen in love with hardy geraniums. Now, these are not the bedding geraniums. These are not the geraniums that you might have had in your summer planting schemes that have now died because of the frost. These are solid geraniums that are fully winter hardy, that come back every single year. And actually, I would say one of the lowest maintenance plants you're ever going to find. I mean, they give so much and take such a little amount of attention.
They really do. I mean, the advice that we're supposed to give you is that these need a bit of deadheading, okay? It's going to really encourage extra flowers to come through.
Yes.
Have you ever deadheaded yours?
Once in a blue moon. Yeah. Because I've got a big garden.
I didn't deadhead mine last year.
I've got a big garden,
This year.
and I tend to have to use my time wisely. So things that need a lot of love and care and attention and fuss, I'll do that. But no, my geraniums.
I've planted them. I mean, so I've got geranium roseanne. I've got them in a couple of species in my garden. It's a hardy geranium, so very similar to what you would be getting here. I trimmed one back once just because it was coming out into the garden a little bit too far. That's it. That's all I've done. They occasionally get watered along with the other things that get watered. They occasionally get fed along with the other things that get fed. Other than that, I haven't touched them. But what they have given me is months and months and months of flowering. They come up in about April time. May, June, July, August, September, October, and they only finally gave up halfway through November when we had that hard frost that
when it was
happened.
like -3, -4.
Now it has now sort of just died down. It'll do that for the winter months, and then it's instantly going to come back into life again in the springtime. And it's just so quick, so easy, and so low maintenance. If you've got some gaps in your borders, get yourself one of these bare roots and plant it into that gap.
Now, again, in terms of value, because you might be thinking, oh, bare root, shall I bother with the bare root? One hardy geranium in a 2 or 3 litre pot in summertime, covered in flowers, we would sell for maybe up to £15 per plant. These are working out £1.60. Did I say 160? Yeah, 160, exactly 160 each, even less if you're a club member. And they will flower. I mean, some bare roots take a few years to really get going, but a geranium will give you a really good display in its very first year.
That's a really good point, Shaun.
Yeah,
well remembered. Because that, honestly, you know, that's a really important point. Peony bare root, you're going to be waiting a couple of years for it to really get going, aren't you? But geraniums, no, they're so quick.
And I love the colour palette that you've got here, pinks and mauves and some cerise colours there and whites. And I always think I like the informal way that a hardy geranium grows. It's not something that's really structural. It kind of meanders and weaves in between other plants. They're lovely and they're so easy to grow.
Yeah.
So that would be, I mean, look, I'm not being funny. If you're just going to buy one item today, we're going to recommend the hardy geranium.
Definitely. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't put this out on the favourites table on Thursday, but I'm not surprised that it is now on the favourites table. Not
I think it's
surprised at all.
climbing to that #1 slot. Who will be #1 this Christmas, Bex, do you think?
The hardy geraniums.
Yes.
That's a great name, actually, the hardy geraniums. If we start a band, that's what it's going to be. There's the beeping again. It'll go off again in a minute. I think it's that, because there's that guy here, and Stu said to me if anybody opens a door anywhere, because all the alarms are linked together.
Right.
So I think...
It's all right, we like it. Get it to beat it, Bex.
Sorry about the beeping, everybody. Let's carry on. See if it goes away.
Ah, it's gone. There you go.
So something that you could plant with your hardy geranium collection, I know because of my happy mistake, is the erigeron. The two things work so beautifully together. But erigeron is something that has a place in every single garden along with that geranium because of the length of flowering season, the low maintenance, and the fact that it'll even grow in the poorest of soils.
And I've got, in fact, I should have sent it to you, Bex, but I've got a whole area just covered in this, and it was an area that was difficult. It was stony, it was poor soil, gets sun, but that's about it. And I've just covered it in this, and it looks amazing. And I think what is really nice about erigeron is you get thousands of flowers that are constantly changing colours. You get different shades of pinks and whites. These are so well established. You're going to get 3 in the 9cm pots. And each one of these can actually cover an area of about up to, I would say, even a metre, but you're going to get thousands and thousands of the flowers that the pollinators love. And I always say this, but each individual flower, you would not say, oh my word, that is the most exotic looking flower, because it's not. But when you see them en masse, it does create an impact, doesn't it?
It really does. Yeah. And that colour changing that you get with the erigeron, I think, is really, really beautiful, because they start out a pink and then they age to that kind of darker pink. So you get shades of pink going through. It's just waves of colour.
And they are just so, again, robust. They're the poorest of soils they'll cope with. You know, I've seen these growing out of like stone walls and cracked pavements and things. They do like a lot of sun, ideally, you know, reasonable amount of sun, but soil type really doesn't matter. And say if it's stony, if you want to put these on a rockery, something like that, they're going to be absolutely superb. But the value today, they're not £10 each. Today on YGTV, they're working out £2.50. Any more messages, Bex?
Yeah, Alison's just sent her pictures saying, morning all, a few plants looking good in our garden, and she knows as well. She said she took the photos a few days ago, because we always need to know when the photos were taken, don't we?
Yeah, thank you.
So, I mean, one of them is her Caribbean lilies, which are starting to sprout. Which
they're quite ahead.
That's happening to mine as well. So I love. Look how organised she is. Everything's labelled. I'm not good at that.
I love your choice of planters, by the way. The
it's
Aprils.
a really good April with those in. It's
really nice.
beautiful.
And I like the fact that you put 3 in there. That works for me.
And she's got her hellebores going as well. Look, so the hellebores are really looking quite floriferous at the moment.
I bought 15 of our hellebores the other week, and I've got a lot of them inside at the moment, and they're just coming into flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking really pretty.
They are looking
so thank
pretty.
you, Alison. Thanks for sending your pictures.
Really appreciate that.
YGTV@yougarden.com if you want to email us anything, questions, comments, pictures of your garden. We're always happy to receive them. But that's also where you enter the competition to win our pair of holly standards. Send your email with the subject line holly and you'll be in the prize draw.
And don't forget, if you want to go to Instagram, YouGarden on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, we've got separate competitions there, so we're giving away 4 pairs of holly. Tell you what I've still got flying in my garden, which is ridiculous. The Osteospermum Purple Sun.
Is it still going?
It died back and now it's covered in flowers again.
Wow!
Even after that frost. I'll bring a picture in next week.
That's amazing.
I know, because I thought I'm going to empty those and put some bulbs in, and I couldn't.
I did, I emptied it.
Did you?
It probably would have come back as well, wouldn't it?
Mine look amazing. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so if there's anything weird still flying in your garden, that shouldn't be, we would love to hear from you as well. But I'm going to move on. Loads of you have been buying our olive tree in the last few weeks, and it's the most affordable mini olive that we actually do. It's only $12.99, $11.69 if you're a club member. And it looks gorgeous now. I mean, it's December. Look how nice that looks.
Yeah, I love it. And this is why we like olives in our garden, olive trees, because they are evergreen. They are winter hardy as well, which is surprising considering the fact that these are imported. We get these from Sicily,
mostly
don't we?
Sicily, yeah.
So they come from lovely hot Mediterranean countries, but these are winter hardy down to about -7, -8. I would suggest with the mini olive, just give it a little bit of extra winter protection this year if it's getting down to those kinds of temperatures. Obviously, just because it's a baby, it needs a little bit of extra care. But the reason we have olives in our garden is because they are quite high end, aren't they? You see olive trees outside of high-end kind of restaurants and boutique hotels.
I was in London the other day, and a
businesses.
lot of the top restaurants there that we walked past to get our ready meal. No, I'm joking. Our takeaway rather than we didn't really, but there was a lot of lovely posh restaurants with these outside, and I always think olive trees look really nice at Christmas time, decorated with little lights. Yeah, they really do. Yeah. Now they do produce blossom in kind of March, April time, and then you get the olives. And we're just being honest. Most years you get olives, but not every year will the olives ripen in time. So no. It depends on the summer.
This is not part of the grow. I mean, it can be, but this isn't what we're bringing to you as a grow your own. This is a very ornamental, beautiful, low maintenance plant for your garden. And I really like the fact that it's a baby, that you can have this, and for the rest of your days, you can grow this and watch it grow into something, bigger and beautiful.
Yeah, and they are very long-lived. Some of my olive trees are probably 20 years old now. Right, we've also got a deal of the week for you now, and it's our
deal of the week.
Oh, that was good, Bex. Should we do it again?
Great harmonies.
Yeah, we'll do it again. That was so good.
Deal of the week.
Oh, that's nice. That was lovely singing from us both. So we need to get a
Let's
jingle.
not give up the day job.
So it is our deal of the week, and it's our pre-planted hanging basket, ready to go, ready to burst into flower all winter long. And today they're $9.99 or $8.99 for club members. Now they're really healthy looking, but they're just beginning to come into a bud and flower.
Yeah, you can see the buds coming. You can see a few of those flowers coming. The great thing about Pansy Cool Wave is the fact that these can flower for up to 10 months of the year. Once these get going, they really are unstoppable. And then they only really stop during the really hot summer months where and by that time they've probably got a bit leggy and they've run out of steam. So you trim them back, put them somewhere a bit shady, and then bring them back out again at the end of sort of August, early, into September. Start watering and feeding them, and they will do it all again for you.
But these are the most beautiful pansies in terms of colour, berries and cream. It's the most popular mix here at YouGarden, so really stylish, purples, mauves, whites. The flowers are a really nice size as well, so not as big as a regular pansy, but bigger than a viola. But it is about the prolific flowering nature. You get thousands of flowers over the season. And this is one of the first kind of trailing pansies that's ever been bred. It's not fully trailing, but they cascade and they tumble over the edge of pots and hanging baskets. But we've done all the work for you. So it comes in the basket, the purple basket. It does come with a hanger to go with it. We've unclipped ours, but it does come with those. And as Bex was saying, these are going to flower and flower and flower right the way through to the height of summer. Now, some people at the end of the flowering season, they throw the plants away, but no, they are a perennial. So, yeah, if you want to save them, cut them back, put them in a slightly shady area, and then it'll all start again in September with a little bit of feed and a little bit of love. 450151. Right, who we got on there, Bex?
Just covering a couple of questions. Sorry, Ruth, I did see your question and I forgot. Abelia, what compost do I need for the Abelia? Can you remember, was that an ericaceous or a regular?
I thought it was regular. It was regular.
It was, wasn't
yes, it is regular compost.
Regular compost,
And
Ruth.
I'll tell you why I remember, Ruth, because I looked at it and thought, oh, that's going to be tricky.
And then you thought, no, it's not. I remember now, yeah.
So, no, it's regular compost with Abelia.
Regular compost for that one. So, also... Grimmy's saying I have a few Crown Imperials. The smell is very unique.
Yes, no, well said.
It's unique, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, I've heard that. I've never grown them, but I'd heard that, yeah.
Neil's saying, love the Crown Imperial. We'll be buying them, trying again with them this year. Norfolk Eco, bring on spring. Yes,
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you.
We're nearly over the shortest day of the year. I know my birthday's on December the 20th. It's a dreadful day to have
Worst
birthday.
ones.
Yeah, God,
Martin's
28th.
is the 28th. Oh, bless
I think that's
you.
probably worse, isn't it?
That's awful.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Ruth says...
Can we just say, if anyone's planning on having babies,
just plan it better.
Yeah. You know, a December baby's not great.
I know, my poor son, he was due on the 25th of November and came out on the 1st of December, which isn't so bad. It's a bit further away from Christmas.
Your birthday's pants as well, isn't
26th of January.
I know.
What an awful month to have a birthday. Nobody's interested. Nobody wants to go out. Nobody wants to do anything. Everyone's skint. They can't afford to buy you a decent birthday present. It's rubbish.
Yeah, so
Martin's got a big birthday coming.
Really?
Big birthday this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it. He's 50.
No, that's not. I mean, you know.
Shaun's like, nah, been there, done that.
Nonsense.
Been there. You wait till it's the 60. Oh!
Do you know what? Age is just a number. And what I love about getting a bit more mature, I love the fact that in life you do change, and sometimes you really know yourself better as you get older. You know what you like. Like, I spend a lot more time gardening now than I used to when I was younger, and I love that. In fact, go on. No, I met a friend of mine that I used to go clubbing with called Helen a few weeks ago. Yeah. So me and Helen, we used to go clubbing. We were like pretty hardcore when I was a teenager, like 18, 19. And I met her with her, not seen her for ages. And she follows me on social media, and she said, oh, I'm just like you, I love my garden. She goes, I get a bigger buzz out of my garden than I do when I used to club. And I mean, I thought it was a great line, you know, but it's true, isn't it?
So true. What I'm enjoying about getting older and becoming more mature is that I'm actually becoming more immature, you know?
I know, I think you
do. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you don't...
I don't care as much.
Yes, you don't worry as much. You're like, oh, so what?
Whatever.
So there are many good things about getting older.
Ruth says she's ordered the Rembrandt double pink and value miniature tulips early this morning. Also ordered the apple...
Teeny?
No, Cox's orange. So she must have been shopping on the website.
Oh, and you can just shop on the web, by the way, but always use your offer code.
Looking forward to receiving them. Neil's asking, is it right that the Caribbean lily is also in the 3 for 2 bulb offer like it says on the website? If it says it on the website, then yes.
Yeah.
Ruth is saying, yes, Neil, they are. Thinking getting 2 more packs of those. Neil says, yes, we could hear the beep. And Grimmy says, I thought there was a lorry reversing down our close. Sorry about that.
Oh,
hopefully it stopped now.
Oh, dear. Right, so thanks for those lovely comments. We love it, don't we?
Beep,
chat with us,
beep,
yeah.
beep.
The beeping seems to have stopped, doesn't it? Oh, dear.
Did you order a delivery?
By the way, I don't know about you, but I had virtually no sleep last night because the storm was dreadful where I live. I live in the middle of a field, you see, so...
I mean, I think lack of sleep is my new normal anyway.
Is it? So
menopause has made me odd. I am awake.
Odor.
Odor. It's true. It's very true. But I'm awake in the night.
That must be awful.
Nothing to do with... But most nights I'm
Really?
Yeah.
And do you get like the hot and cold business?
No, I don't do that. But no, I'm a bit crazy.
Oh, bless
but
you.
lack of sleep. But I don't. It's like normal for me now. It's normal.
Oh. So I'm used to. I sleep quite
But
well.
you sleep
normally.
quite well, so
yeah,
a no night sleep is bad for you, isn't
Yeah, I mean,
it?
I'm all right. I'm just a bit like, I feel just not quite myself. I think it was just like the wind. I don't know what it was like with you, but the wind,
howling.
it was howling around the house. And I think I started to panic because I've got a massive eucalyptus. I'm thinking, is that gonna like suddenly come into the house or go into the greenhouse? And anyway, all's good. Hopefully you are safe where you are and the garden's not in too bad a condition. And got a big audience, I think, watching today. A lot of just sat at home. And gardening, it is all year round. We're always planning, aren't we? We're always looking ahead.
I'm always planning an imaginary... I'm not planning my own garden, I'm planning an imaginary garden, ridiculously. Like, think about your own one, not the pretend one. What's that about?
I always think, though... no, but we do. Sometimes we do think about the gardens we'd like to have. But yes, you've still planted a lot in your garden.
Oh, I still do loads. Still do
And the
loads.
great thing is, Bex, I'm sure I know a lot of you do. You plant a lot in pots. If you ever do move, you can
Love
take
it.
it with you. Right, let's just talk about a gardening fundamental.
Essential. Totally. And that is our premium professional compost, the compost that we use here at the nursery. I picked up a few pots today and I can see that we've used our compost in there. And as a business whose job it is to grow plants,
Yes.
we are going to use the best compost available. And this is a compost that our head gardener, along with teams of people, have actually perfected over the years. And it's quite simple, but perfect in the way that it's been put together, the ratios. Let's start off with the composted wood fibre, 50% composted wood fibre. Now that is really well composted. There's no great big lumps and twigs and sticks and things that you've got to pick out of here. That's so annoying when you buy a bag of compost and have to do that. What that does is it gives it a really nice texture. It's light, it's airy, it allows roots to grow. It gives oxygen to the roots as well, which is a really vital part of root production. And that composted wood fibre, you can see the fibres running through, that actually helps with even water distribution as well as water retention in there as well. So it plays multiple roles.
Now, you've also got different types of peat in here. You've got white peat, you've got dark peats, and you've got renewable peats such as sphagnum moss peat. And I'm not going to go into the peat and no peat, peat-free debate, but I think it's fair to say a lot of our regulars that keep buying this, they have tried the peat-free compost and just haven't had the results. And although we're working towards it and we've reduced the peat content in here, it has been an essential for plant growing for as long back as we can ever remember. And it really does give those plants as much support as they could possibly need. But we have reduced the quantity of that over the years. Now, I can spot lots of green balls, Bex.
Loads of green balls, and there's loads of them as you run through this compost. The green balls hold on to a slow-release fertiliser, so there, it's like a little shell. It breaks down, and then that releases that feed into the compost. Then the roots can reach for it, and they can grab hold of the moisture and the feed as and when they need it. I'm rubbish at remembering to do it regularly, so at least I know that my plants are getting hold of it for a good 5 months when I plant them in here.
Sometimes when you are busy in the garden, it does end up the last thing on the list.
Job, isn't it?
But that is that insurance that you've got there. Now, you've also got a pH buffer. I won't get too complicated, but it makes it the perfect pH for virtually all plants. The only exception are the truly acid-loving ones. There's a few of those. Like the only ones we've got on the show today that are acid-loving, we've got Lacothi, and we've got the
blueberries.
and the blueberries. Yeah. So we've got 3, but nearly all of our plants, you'll find this is a perfect pH. And I did forget one thing, which is the wetting agent.
Yeah, so it helps the water to stick to the compost, basically, which is a really clever ingredient in here. So rather than the water running off, when you're doing your hanging baskets and things, it actually will go into the compost, and then the wood fibres will hold on to it. It's perfectly put together.
And I was going to say today, I mean, the price is amazing. It hasn't gone up in at least 18 months, maybe even 2 years now. And you get free delivery, so we take all the stress out. But your free gift, the grow bag, is worth £5 as well. And do you know, even if you're not going to use this to grow things in, just as a really strong, heavy-duty bag to carry things in, they are amazing. They really
or just
are.
stack your canes in. It's so annoying, isn't it? You've got all your canes that you use for support during the summer months. And I've done it myself, and you stack them in the corner of the shed and then you knock them and they all fall down. Stack them in here. You know, there's so many things you can use it for.
Do you know, I bought so many bulbs this year from YouGarden. At one point, I had all my bulbs in there.
Just holding them in.
Yeah, I did. Had loads.
Great thing to do.
Right, so if you want to go for our compost 100 125, all you need to do is say, go on our website and order that right now. By the way, our phone lines in low season, obviously it's December, so it's not our peak season. Phone lines are not open on a Sunday, but they are open first thing tomorrow morning. So if you want to make a call rather than use the website, then the number is there. Just jot it down and you can call us tomorrow morning. But always use that offer code YGTV 4924. That's the code for this week. Right, we're going to talk very, very beautiful ornamental bark now.
Yeah, so another of our bagged products, which means that this comes with postage included as well. So no postage to pay here. Great way of getting multiples of your free gift if you want to do that. Bark mulch has so many uses. Again, a multi-use product here. So it might be right now you're getting hold of this because we're moving into those colder months. We've still got, you know, January and February to come, which tend to be the frostiest, the coldest months, when we need to give our plants that extra duvet of protection. They need to be kept warm so that we can ensure their survival for next year. A nice thick layer of this over those plants or around those plants is going to help to provide that extra winter protection. But it's not just that, is it? There's so many other reasons.
Well, it makes everything look neater and it suppresses weeds. So if you've got, I always think if you can see earth on your borders, if the
or
gaps,
even around the tops of the pots.
Yeah, I mean it looks really nice around your pots as well.
It looks really pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know where we just saw those pictures of the Caribbean lilies with straws, which is another great alternative, but it does really tidy pots up as well. I've got some little steps in my garden. I've got helleboards growing in pots, and I've just put this around them, and they look really, really cute. But anyway, we have got a little video to tell you more. Oh no! Forget that. No, well, we have got a video, but we've just checked the time, and we haven't got time to play it.
We're running behind, aren't we?
But what we can do, because we've only got about half an hour left, is remind you of some of the absolute favourites we've had this morning on YouGarden television. Here's a reminder. So, I like this one, Bex.
Oh, I love an apple tea.
I know, an apple tea. It sounds like a cocktail, but no, it's a mini apple tree. Now, cute, cute, cute. That's how I describe this. Really cute. Loads of lovely blossom, but each blossom has the potential to become a juicy, flavoursome apple. Now, these are smaller than traditional apples, so great for kids, great for packed lunches. That's a cherry down there, just to show the size of the apple compared to cherry. So it's more like a nectarine size, sweet, juicy, but the tree itself is compact, so it's only going to grow to about 2 metres in height, so ideal to grow it in a pot. It isn't a bare root. This one is already established in a 13 centimetre pot, and it's 300 to 10 for the appletini. Now, one of the healthiest fruits to eat, a fruit that's very, very high in antioxidants, is a blueberry, of course, but they tend to be very expensive and they don't really last that long when you buy them in a little plastic punnet. So why not grow your own? And this collection has been specially put together to extend the season. So it's called the long season because you've actually got the new Hanover, that's going to be the first to fruit in summertime, followed by the Blu-ray and the Ozark Blue. So we are talking, you know, June, July, August time, 3 months of potential blueberry cropping. Now, this one does need an acid soil. So if you haven't got an acid soil naturally, you need to buy an ericaceous compost from our website. Then we have also got, staying with Grow Your Own, we've got the raspberries. Love this variety, it's called Autumn Bliss. So it's a raspberry cane that always fruits on the new growth. So in simple terms, plant this now and it will fruit in autumn time. And then once it's fruited, chop it right back. And then next year on all the new growth, you will get more and more raspberries. Very easy to grow raspberries, but again, you need a nice sunny position and don't plant the canes too deep. If you plant them too deeply, you end up with what they call lots of suckers, but all instructions are with those. I will be honest, I think the 5-pack is sold out, but we do have a 10-pack on our website. And then we've got one of our absolute favourites, Calicarpa Profusion Beauty Berry. It's a really nice one, this one. So it looks really great at this time of year because all the leaves have fallen, but the ones that you'll receive will be covered in these kind of like metallic, glossy purple berries. It's extraordinary, it really is. But also, it does so many other things. Obviously, prior to the bears being formed, you've got hundreds of these lovely little dainty flowers that cluster together. Really nice foliage that changes beautifully in the autumn time. But I think it looks most striking in the winter right now, and that would make a lovely kind of winter Christmas display outside your home as well. Now, we've also got 3 very, very beautiful clematis that are winter flowering, so that we can be talking about flowers over the 3 of these in November, December, January, February, March, April, maybe even into May as well. We're looking at the evergreen freckles right now. You've also got the Wisley cream and the early sensation. They're relatively fast growing, these, but they are evergreen. So unlike most clematis, they keep all of that foliage in the winter time, and then you get all of the flowers as well. They're lovely. I've got the 2 cream ones, the Wisley cream rather, and the early sensation. I've got those in my collection. I haven't got the freckles, and that's 550372. For the Wisley cream, early sensation and evergreen freckles. And saving £15 today. Don't forget, a lot of you are club members, so the price in the yellow is the club price. Now, this is a very, very extraordinary peony called Barzella, and it is a cross between your traditional peony, the intersectional ones, and a tree peony. So the benefit is it's tall, but it's strong, so it shouldn't need lots of support. It produces big, beautiful, luscious flowers that are also scented as well. So this one is great for kind of maybe the back of the border, heading towards about 90 centimetres in terms of height, but it is a cross between, say, 2 different types of peony, the intersectional ones and also the tree peony. Then we have also got on our show today the most beautiful cherry tree. Now, this will not produce cherries, it's all about the blossom. It's the Prunus canson, and this steals the show in April, maybe into May. I would say March, April, May, depending on where you live, but it will be covered with thousands of these double blossoms. And what is really nice, the new foliage that appears just after the blossoms is like a lovely kind of coppery colour as well. But it is the most magnificent tree. For me, when you see a cherry tree, and the canson is one of my personal favourites, it just melts your heart, doesn't it? They are stunning. That gets to about 3 metres, so a nice size but not too big, 500,027. Now we've got a beautiful hydrangea for you next that has got £20 off, and it's the Magical Matterhorn. Down from nearly £30 to from £29.99 to £9.99, so £20 is your saving. And it's not a bare root. We did actually do some bare root hydrangeas early on in the year, but these are potted and they will flower next summertime, and they'll produce these lovely paniculata type flowers where you get thousands of them in these cone shapes. The colour's lovely, by the way. It's like a creamy colour with a little bit of green in there, and actually in certain lights you also almost get like a pinky hue as well. Long-lasting flowers, very easy to grow. Just follow the rules with hydrangeas. They like to stay moist. They do not want to dry out, and I think they do best in like a dappled position. And that is 511551. Now we've also got the winter hardy shrub collection. We've got berberis in here. We've got deutzias. We have got a massive selection of fully winter hardy shrubs, and the contents may vary slightly. We've got Philadelphus, your lilacs, hypericums, all sorts in there, but the common thing, you may even get a cornus, a dogwood, but they are all easy to grow and fully winter hardy as well. And you get them as bare roots, and this is a really clever way of buying. So something like the lilac they're looking at there, you could buy that in a pot and pay about £17.99 in some garden centres, or you could buy it as a bare root now, plant it, put it in a pot or in your beds and borders, and that will be established in no time whatsoever. And when you think it's working out, what, £1.50 for a shrub, the value is absolutely crazy. And it's not a lot of work, it really isn't. Just get some of our premium compost. So you might want to start these off in pots and then put them in your beds and borders or bigger planters in the springtime when they're bursting back into life. So lovely collection, lots of favourites and classic varieties in there to give you colour. I'm going to say, I mean, some of those are going to be flowering sort of April, May time all the way through to potentially October, November as well, even into the winter months. So that's 500,001. Right, we I don't know where the time's gone, Bex.
I know, it's flying
I know.
by.
Right, loads of messages coming in as well, by the way. Hello.
The thing is, Martin says we're going camera left, which means the opposite, so I have to go right.
Yes.
And I stood there going camera left, left, right, that way.
It's very technical what we do, you know.
Which way am I going?
Can we say, Barbara, thank you to everyone that's ordering today.
Thank you so much.
Really appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
Do you know, it's been really nice we've been able to keep the shows going through the winter months, because obviously it's not as busy as spring and summer, but we're still getting lots of orders coming in. So thank you so much to our regulars and to any new viewers as well. Do us a favour today, right? We'd love you to spread the word, YouGarden TV. And one of the easiest ways of doing that is obviously just telling your friends and family, but also tell them about our prize draw, because we are giving away, we've got 4 pairs of holly trees, standard holly trees, to give away this week. And all you need to do is, if you're watching right now, is email us ygtv@yougarden.com. And subject, where it says subject, just put holly and then you're in the prize draw. Or if you check us out on Instagram and Facebook and TikTok, again, just type in YouGarden, you'll find us. Then there's lots of posts on those different platforms telling you how you can enter the prize draw. And you can enter 4 times, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got 4 chances to win.
So I'm looking at this. What's this?
No, Ruth's got a problem with her order, so I've just emailed her back saying... go to giving her the customer services email address.
Absolutely.
Basically. So Ruth, she's emailed about the Eryngium. She's not happy, and that's fine. Email customer services; they will get back to you. They will sort that problem for you.
And this is really important. You know, occasionally we send out millions of plants a year. I'll be honest, this year, I've not had one single order that I've not been 100% happy with. Not a single one. Occasionally it happens.
I don't think I have either, actually.
No, I
think I've been all right this year.
But occasionally, in the past, it has happened. And yeah, always get in touch with our customer services, because we don't want you to be unhappy.
Yeah.
We want to put everything right if we can.
So I've sent you the customer services email address, basically. I'm not trying to get rid of the problem at all. I just physically can't help you. I don't have access to that part of the system, and customer services need to deal with it. So I've sent you the email address if you wouldn't mind just getting in touch with customer services, and they'll be happy to help.
Right.
Oh, that end.
I'm feeling a bit of burning love.
I bet you are.
I am. A bit of burning love.
Burning love.
That's my Barry White. Burning love. Burning love.
Let's do it. It's a Lakothe. And
it is.
I haven't got this one.
I haven't.
So I'm putting this in the family of Nandina.
I agree.
Because it very much it has a
this.
similar habit to Nandina. It wants to be in a similar place. It is very winter hardy, you know. But this one actually requires ericaceous compost, which is the slight difference here. But what I really like about this is the shape of the foliage.
Bex, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go and get Nandina. Is that right?
Yeah, go for it.
Just so we can see them together.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a great one, actually. If you wanted to plant with Nandina or instead of Nandina, I think it would be gorgeous. It's got that lovely colour-changing aspect to the foliage as well. It is evergreen, so it's not going to drop its leaves. It's very, very hardy, down to about -20 we are talking here. So this isn't one that you're going to need to worry about too much. In spring, you will get clusters of white flowers. In autumn, you get these leaves turning this lovely, fiery reds and burgundies and things as well. It's just a beautiful, compact shrub, this as well, reaching about 75 by 75 centimetres, so somewhere between 2 and 3 feet height and spread. Borders are fine, pots are perfect.
Now, I just thought I'd bring in the Nandina next to it.
Oh, that looks good together.
Doesn't it? And now, because these need different soils, that needs acid, this needs neutral. If you wanted them together, you would have to put them in pots. But I think a group of those in pots could look amazing.
Really nice,
you?
And compact enough to be able to go into pots as well.
And you could argue, we love our Nandina firepower. That is one of my favourite plants. But you could argue that's actually slightly more striking right now because of the shape of the leaves.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah. I like the shape of the leaves.
I do.
And actually putting those two together, it highlights it even more, doesn't it?
Yeah. Really, I think that looks great. I haven't got the Lakothe, but I feel I do need a bit of burning love.
A little bit of burning love in your life. All right,
I really like that. I might get that, but I'd probably grow mine. No, actually, I have actually got an ericaceous board. Yeah, that'd look great, though, wouldn't it?
Wonderful. Why haven't you got it?
I don't know.
Get it.
Do you know what? Sometimes you can't buy everything, but
true.
yeah, I'm very tempted with that. Yeah, it's lovely. Right, staying now, that loves an acid soil, so does the Pyrrhus as well.
Yeah, and this is a collection, so you're actually going to get 3 different varieties of Pyrrhus included in here. And I love the fresh growth that comes through on Pyrrhus because you get the pinks, the salmons, the bright pink colours that you get. It really is quite breathtaking. There's some, again, on one of my dog walks, there's a house near where I walk, and it blew my mind last year. I saw this Pyrrhus growing, and the colour, the pink that you got from the fresh foliage coming through was beautiful. But you also get these lovely sprays of flowers.
And they're like little bells.
They look like little bells. And I think that when
they're a bit Lily of the Valley-esque, I'd say.
When I first sort of started looking at this, I was thinking they're not very significant. But actually, once you see it in full bloom, they are quite significant.
I was saying to Bex last week, I think Pyrrhus are a bit underrated. I don't know why you don't see a bit more of them. And although we say they do prefer an acid soil, I have grown them in regular soil.
Yeah. I think they prefer a bit of ericaceous, but I don't think it's going to be the worst thing in the world,
I think when I've grown them in a regular soil, maybe the new growth hasn't been quite so bright.
Maybe.
I don't know, but we do recommend an acid soil. They're lovely, aren't they?
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's evergreen, so, you know, something to look at all year round. It's a perfect one if you want a nice big shrub for your borders, because this can get to, it can get to between 2.5 and 4 metres in height.
Who was it that sent us a picture of that massive
It was that
one?
lovely lady up in Edinburgh, wasn't it? Or sort of Scotland, something. No, not Edinburgh, but... Oh, we showed it last week.
I know.
I want to say Margaret, but I can't really remember the name now. Stu's the one, he remembers names perfectly.
Yeah. It was either Margaret or Amanda. I think it was Margaret. Anyway, sorry, apologies for watching.
Apologise if you are watching, but it is beautiful. And wonderful plant.
Half price today as well, down from $29.97 to $14.97.
All
Don't
3.
forget as well, yes, you get all 3, but do use that offer code. Really important to get all the discounts. YGTV $49.24. Really lovely plants, those, aren't they?
Lovely, lovely plants. Yeah, nicely established as well, ready to get going. And that pink foliage that you're going to get in the springtime will be amazing.
Right, if you've got a difficult area in your garden that's really shady, we have got something that will love it there, and it's Lily of the Valley. And you actually get 10, now you might be thinking, hang on, 10 pips?
What's a pip?
What's a pip?
Shall I open it?
Go, I think it'd be useful to see what a pip looks like.
I think it would, wouldn't it?
I mean, they look like a bare root.
Yeah, this one's
really.
open. Here we go.
But
it's a bit like a bare root, basically, is what we're talking about. So these are all together. So there's an elastic band here, look, that's just holding those pips together. So it's like a bare root. You'll take the elastic band off, separate them out, and you're getting 10 pips included there. You can see where the new shoots are coming. All you're going to do is plant those into the ground and in a shady spot.
Yeah, they love the shade.
They really do, and I love that because you're going to get those beautiful things from that ugly thing right there, but in a shady spot in your garden, which is hard to get that kind of display.
Look at the little, bell-shaped flowers. Now, they're really highly scented, Lily of the Valley.
Oh, my word.
Yeah.
Fragrances using Lily of the Valley. Really easy as well. There's not much that you need to do for this. You're going to soak those pips just for 30 minutes or so before you plant them, and then let them go. They have a lovely low spreading habit. They create gorgeous ground cover. We're not talking too high at all, maybe about 30 centimetres height and spread from each one of those pips. They have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so proven performer, and this will just die down in the wintertime and come back up for you in the spring. It's a fully hardy herbaceous perennial.
And what they do, those pips, they form naturally. So when these get established, the roots will spread and then new little shoots come up from the new roots. So you'll suddenly find other lilies of the valley just popping up around the main clumps. So they do, when they get going, they actually do spread really nicely.
Yeah, really nicely.
And you'll see, I mean, when you see lily of the valley en masse, you just get that carpet white. They're beautiful. My nan used to have them, and they were quite magical. But do you know, I don't have any in my garden.
You can't have everything.
I can.
I want it all and I want it now.
Yes. But again, amazing value. And that's a very affordable way of getting lily of the valley. We do sell them in individual pots, but to buy the pips is just a really clever and economical way of getting lily of the valley in your garden. I always think those shady areas, and most of us have them, and we love our ferns, of course, and we love our hostas, but if you want flowers, then lily of the valley, top choice, really is. Right.
Appletini. Would you like an apple tree for your garden? Would you like an apple tree for a pot on your patio? Then Appletini is definitely one that you can have, because this is a nice compact tree. I mean, it'll get to about 2 metres in height eventually, but I've had mine 2 years and it's, you know, about 60 centimetres. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. But what this creates is the most beautiful bite-sized apples that are red-skinned, white flesh, juicy and sweet, and I love it. I absolutely adore it.
And I know I told you this story, but Bex brought hers in early on in the year, and this is when it was just in blossom. But I was like, oh my word, that is the cutest apple tree. It was like,
it is.
It really sweet.
I mean, the
looking.
blossom is really quite beautiful.
Yeah,
the colours that you get from the blossom is incredible. But then obviously this is a self-fertile tree, and that blossom is then going to turn into these apples.
And Bex, I know you only got a few apples this year.
I only got, was it 3 or 4 I got, I think.
Were they really sweet?
Really sweet, nice and crisp, really juicy, absolutely lovely. I mean, it's a great little novelty plant to have, you know, that you're going to get these, you know, little apples. If you've got kids, you've got grandkids, they are the perfect size for little hands. But it's just a wonderful addition to any kind of grow your own. And the fact that it stays nice and compact means that any gardener can have this. I mean, what I mean is anybody with a little bit of outdoor space. Yeah. I'm not talking about a massive, great big garden. You can grow this in our free gift, the bag, the grow bag, or you could get one of our heavy-duty pots and grow it in there, and it will happily live in there all its life.
But I have grown, in my old house, I literally had several of these to the side of the driveway, and I had trees growing in them. And it was great, it really was. And so it was only when I moved and I'll be honest, they were really heavy and big, so I did the couple that took over my old house, they were really into the gardening, so I left quite a few things there. But they were very happy there for about 5 years.
Yeah.
They did great. So, I must admit, I have got Appletini envy, Bex. I might... in fact, I'll definitely get that one today.
Yeah, it's a
good
lovely
price,
one,
isn't it, as well?
It's really good.
I'm not being funny, but even if it was a bare root, $9.99 would be great, but it's already grown in the pot. And then a winter start for you next, which is the Calocarpa. Do you remember when we first saw this, probably exactly a year ago?
We fell in love, didn't we?
It's just amazing, this one.
I just love those berries. You know, the fact that you've got those berries appearing in wintertime on those bare stems, it just... You know, it adds that extra level of interest, doesn't it? It's a winter beauty. It certainly lives up to its name. It is award-winning with the RHS Award of Garden Merit. Plus, it's been given the badge of perfect for pollinators, which is always good. We know we're bringing those pollinators into our gardens. It's winter hardy. It's really easy. Plant it, leave it. You know, you're not going to need to do anything to it.
And... beautiful little flowers. I mean, they're not huge, but you get loads of them. But every one of those has the potential to turn into a berry. I must admit, I love it when it drops its leaves. I know the leaves are lovely colours in autumn, but when it looks like this in wintertime, there is something magical about it. And I love making winter and Christmas displays. I'm imagining that in a nice pot outside, on your porchway, covered in little twinkly lights. Yeah,
and even cutting stems off it to add into your wreaths and Christmas displays, you know. I think that would work really beautifully.
Because Drake Cole's doing some winter wreaths today.
Indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? And they do grow, when this is fully sized, it will be about...
6 feet?
Yeah, a couple of metres.
Yeah.
So you get loads of berries.
Loads.
Right, I'm feeling hungry, Bex. I could do with a toffee apple.
I would munch down on a toffee apple right now if there was one here. I really would.
You might be thinking, what's he going on about toffee apple? Well, we're not going to show you a tree that produces toffee apples.
No.
But it 100%.
That would be so cool.
Well, but it gives you the smell without the calories.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, so it's the Ciceriphyllum japonicum. It's a toffee apple tree, and this it will give the most amazing scent, and it's incredible when you do smell it in real life, isn't it? So it gives a lovely display before it drops its leaves in autumn, and then when you sort of crush those leaves, the fragrance you get is just like a sweet toffee apple, and it does it at the perfect time of year, around Halloween and bonfire night as well.
So it's really on trend.
On trend, yeah, definitely.
And I do remember there's a very popular garden show on the TV, and they did a whole segment on this tree, and I do remember the presenters walking through the leaves, and they just couldn't believe
the sweet scent you get from it. Now it's going to grow into a proper tree. Okay, this is not grafted. It's not going to remain compact. This is going to get 10-12 meters in height. It'll take 20 to 50 years to get there, but you know, it will grow into a full-size tree, so do bear that in mind when you're planting this out. Of course, you can restrict the size of growing things. You can grow full-size trees in pots. That's where bonsai comes from. So if you want to, you can try and restrict that size. But this is going to be most beautiful if left to flourish and get to its big heights.
When we get those perfect autumnal days and it's a bright, clear day and the sky is blue, when you see the colours of those leaves, they are magical. And then as they drop and you walk through them, that fragrance, and it really does, it's incredible. It really does smell exactly like a toffee apple.
Yeah.
It's like thousands of toffee apples.
Love it.
Kids love it as well, don't they?
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, whenever my kids see, they've been doing it over the last few months, when you see them drop leaves and they just run through them, don't they? Pick them up and throw them. Even still now, they're still doing that. But if they were to do that with toffee apple tree leaves, they would love it.
And that is 510707 and down to $14.99 today. Now, we are nearly out of time. Actually, just a few more things. Do enter the prize draw.
Yes, please.
All you need to do, if you haven't done it already, is email us. And the email address, it's a regular one. It's ygtv@yougarden.com. That will put you in the prize draw. All you need to do is email us, and where it says subject, just put Holly. You don't have to write anything else. You literally need to just email ygtv@yougarden.com, and where it says subject Holly, and that's it. Then you've been the prize draw. Also, we are
to win a pair of these, by the way.
Oh,
not
yes,
just
with
one.
pots.
It's a pair with the pot for you to plant them in.
And somebody's got to win. We're not just giving away one pair, we're giving away 4 pairs. So if you go on our Instagram account, again, just search YouGarden on Instagram or on TikTok or on Facebook, then you can enter on those different platforms as well. But we will be keeping that prize draw open until Thursday.
End of Thursday,
yes.
You've got to be able to enter into those. So tell your friends about it as well. Everybody, just get them to enter in. On those other pages, it'll be something like a like and a share and a comment or something like that to enter.
And also, if you are on social media, if you could just post about YouGarden TV as well. Just share the word, because we do love doing this and we've had amazing support. And obviously, the more we grow, the better it is for everybody. But the prices that we managed to do are incredible, aren't they?
So good.
They're really good.
They're unmatched as far as I can see,
We honestly buy loads. And we get staff discount, and we've told you this before, but you can only use one code, and 9 times out of 10, it's better to use the YGTV code than use our staff discount.
Yeah.
Really is. We always try both. Right, going to move on to our deal of the week, which is the Pansy Cool Wave Berries and Cream ready-made hanging basket. So it arrives in like the purple pot, and it's all tied up right just to protect it, but it does have the clip as well. So you can either have it as a pot on a table outside or on steps and walls, or you can actually have the clipper hanger with it as well. But it's all about the variety pansy, this one.
Yeah, the berries and cream, the beautiful colour mix, the purples, the burgundies, the whites. It's like a designer colour mix, and I think it's one of the most popular ones we do. And you can see why, because of the colour mix that you've got in there. They gently tumble, cascade, by about 30 centimetres. So lovely that we've got the matching pot, but gradually that will get covered by the foliage and by the hundreds of flowers that you will have on here for up to 10 months of the year.
And maybe you didn't have time to make up winter baskets. I did have time, but I can promise you mine cost a lot more to make than those.
Definitely.
I'm not being the raw materials alone. $8.99 for club members, that is incredible. So if you want to go for those, they are on offer right now and they are half price. Then we've got our mini olive tree. It's a great way of getting olives in your garden on a budget.
I love it.
And you look at this right now, it's December, look how good it looks.
Yeah, and this is the great thing about olives. They are evergreen, which is why people love having these in their gardens. They're winter hardy, down to about -7, -8. So, most areas of the country, no issues whatsoever. If you are expecting colder temperatures, a little bit of fleece around it, that's going to help it to get through those winter months. This will grow into a full-size olive tree with time. It needs a bit of time though, because it's a slow grower. I like that though. This is one where I think you can go on that journey, and it's long-lived. You'll have it for decades and you can just watch it grow every single year.
And the olives, they look really cute.
Yeah, they do.
So that is on offer right now, saving £4, 680 111. Now, we've also got a couple of real favourites of ours, and the Rigorant today is the most amazing price. You get 3 of these for under £7.50, 674 if you're club member. And I've got to say, I think out of all the plants I've got in my garden, and you're the same, Bex, this is true hard worker.
It's a trooper, isn't it?
It's
a trooper.
It is, and it will survive in the poorest of soils.
It thrives on neglect. Just leave it alone. Plant it, occasionally water it, maybe give it a little feed, but, you know, it will just do its thing, flowering for ages with no care and attention from you whatsoever.
And it's a really good ground cover plant. So
yeah, perfect.
Really, if you've got those difficult areas, poor soil, grit. I mean, I've got like an area, so it's full of rubble and stones. It just loves that. Does like sun, though, we should say. It does like a sunny spot.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, it does. Although I've got one in a
yours
slightly
is like,
shady border.
So yours doesn't get full sun, does it?
Yeah, but, I mean, part shade will be fine, but it does need access to a bit of sunshine for it to do its thing.
But it's great ground cover. Flowers like for 6, 7, maybe even 8 months of the year. Just chop it right back. When the first frosts come, it tends to go a bit over and a bit straggly. Chop it right back, and in springtime, it does it all
So reliable.
again.
Very, very reliable.
Brilliant.
Now, top 5 of any plant that you should have. Honestly, top 5. That is right up there, isn't it?
Well, I'm thinking top
of
3.
Of all the plants that we've got in our garden
Yeah,
and that
true.
we know about, both Shaun and I are saying top 5. You need hardy geraniums in your garden. These come to you as bare roots. They look like an alien. That's what it looks like. And you can see the shoots coming off there. So you're just going to plant that into the ground. In the springtime, you will be amazed at how quickly these come through. And it's a really important point Shaun remembered earlier. Some bare roots, you have to wait, you know, a good couple of years for them to get properly established. These get established so quickly.
And that means that summer 2025, each one of these 5 is going to be covered in flowers. They just flower and flower away. Sun, part shade, they don't really care. You should deadhead, we don't. You should feed them, we sometimes forget. But they are true performers. And don't confuse them with regular geraniums like your bedding geraniums. These are fully winter hardy. And I love the way they kind of like, they've got a natural growth habitat. They they just sort of like gently meander into other areas, don't they?
They create a lovely mound of colour and just flower constantly, and the wildlife absolutely adore geraniums. Bees have a wonderful time with these.
They're just such a great plant. They really are. And I think sometimes with gardening, especially with the climate change we have nowadays, and we get these extreme, you know, every year's different, isn't it? Every day can be different sometimes in a week, but they don't seem to really care.
No,
they don't.
They're fine.
You know, a dry summer, once established, they're drought tolerant. A wet summer, they seem to do well.
Yeah.
So they're brilliant. They really are. And then we have got our irises.
Yeah, and these would work great alongside your geraniums, to be honest with you. So these are going to get nice and tall. These can get up to sort of 90 centimetres, can't they? I mean, somewhere between 2 and 3 feet is the kind of height they're going to get to. We love them because they've got character. They're very, very, you know, personality-filled flowers that you've got here. Very frilly, very gorgeous, quite feminine, I think, in the way that they look, but a mix of colour that you'll get here with the 5 bare roots included.
And I always think irises they look great sometimes next to water features and things like that.
Yeah, and they're suited to that location because they like a bit of moisture.
We've said it several times, but each one of these has got such a huge amount of personality.
Yeah.
Hasn't it?
I love them. I love the kind of tiger stripes you've got running through them as well.
Well,
they look a bit like tiger's eye violas.
They do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, we're nearly out of time. So we are back live with YouGarden TV on Thursday.
We are.
Which is our regular show, 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock. We are on TikTok this afternoon. We're going to be, if you've never seen where our houseplants live, Bex and I and Martin, we're going to be in our giant greenhouse this afternoon.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 hours of houseplants and a few other things as well. So we'd love you to join us on TikTok. And don't forget, if you are spending over £40, you get free delivery. The offer code says YGTV 4924. And the free gift today, Bex, is...
It's our grow bag, the green grow bag. So you can actually grow things in here. It's got a large capacity, 45 litre capacity. But it's also just a really generally helpful bag to have. You know, incredibly strong. Use it for shopping, transporting, but also you can use it for growing things, and it's worth £5. You get it by entering the code when you place your order.
Thank you so much. From myself, Shaun Ryan, and Bex Edwards, we will see you on Thursday, 10 to 1.
Looking forward to it.
And TikTok this afternoon too.